Good afternoon, everybody. I can see we've got our little early starters here. Hello, Cal, and hello to you, Ms. Theosaurus. And we've got the lovely Black Rose as well. Nice to see you. Little pink Udder Hands there too. How's everybody doing this fine Saturday afternoon? This is the the gruffness starting already. Oh. So yeah, I feel as if I didn't really leave this chair. Dalek Widow, hello, how are you? Yeah, it seems like I blinked from Wednesday and now we're here again. Is it just me? I don't know. Today I am struggling. I am extremely tired. I'm not sleeping very well. I haven't slept well for many months now. And I was a little bit sort of, I don't know. I was just kind of like in a little pity party for myself today. So I've tried to snap myself out of it, but I'm just not, I don't know. I'm just a bit off today, I think. But we all have off days, but I was kind of hoping to be like full of beans and like ready to go and full of the joys of autumn. It's just not transpired that way though. However, I am here and we're going to do some arting and everything's going to be lovely. And if nothing else, I can always revel in the food chat at the first intermission. Or maybe even the second intermission, because we are going to have 2 stops. I like to take a break every hour. Number 1, to give my hand a rest and my shoulders and my back, but also my eyeballs as well and my brain. So I suppose we'll allow food chat in both the breaks. I think that's fair. Thea hasn't slept well either. Yeah. Cal, I think my age is in the single digits when I slept well last. It's like clockwork just now, but it's been going on for months, and sometimes I can get back to sleep and quite a lot of the time I can't, and last night was one of those nights where I couldn't. So yeah, it's just not ideal. And what makes it worse is Mr. Jem's lying beside me like snoozing away peacefully, and I wanted to like poke him in the side. It was like because I'm jealous though, but that's okay. So what's everyone up to this weekend? Apart from being ill because everyone seems to be sick all the time. Has anybody got anything exciting going on this weekend? Black Rose is still fighting the tail end of hers as well. Yeah, it's not good, is it? It's not good. Hello, Martine. How are you? Nice to see you. Martine, I've got a question for you. You don't have to answer in the chat if you don't want to. Were you the person I had the conversation with about your neighbour's rooster, or am I mixing you up with someone else? Cal, I read your last comment as recovering from the homework hurricane. I was like, why are you doing your dad's homework? Housework hurricane. Oh, good grief. Black Rose cleaned her car. Oh god, that's something that I really need to do. I just don't do it. See, because I don't use my truck that often, like I literally trundle to the post office 3 times a week. that's about as much except maybe like an odd trip to the vet or something and a rumble across a field every now and then. I like the inside's tidy though, like it is like, you know, I wouldn't be embarrassed to invite someone into my vehicle, but it's not like sparkly showroom clean ever. I don't think it, I was about to say, I don't think we've had the interior cleaned since we've moved here, so that's like 2 and a bit years. Martine's doing good, and yes, Rooster is still like, yeah, I thought it was you. It was when I was packing your shop order, and I couldn't remember whether I'd mixed you up with someone else, and I thought if she comes into the stream today, I'll ask her, but yeah, that's hilarious, by the way, that still makes me chuckle. Cal's dad decided to move the front room furniture and hoover everywhere thanks to it being a new hoover. I had to empty the thing 4 times. That's so satisfying though, I love it. If I kidnap Rooster, could I send it your way? One of our neighbours has chickens. Yeah, we've plenty of other noises. Oh yeah, on the point of noises, it should be okay. There is a shoot on here today at the cave. Not obviously not in the cave. It is pheasant season, so I think everybody's away on the other side of the farm. I did have a chat with Mr. Jem about it earlier, but if you hear gunshots, don't panic. They're supposed to be there. But they should be finishing up in about an hour-ish, give or take. So don't worry if you hear any strange noises, nothing to worry about. I'm glad they're not in the cave. Yeah, me too. I don't think Pip and Jock would like that much, particularly Pip. When they did the first drive this morning, it was over the there's a big field, a big square field in front of our house, and there's woodlands like on the other side of that, so like the opposite side of the front of our house, and it was quite noisy this morning, and when the shot started going off, Pip came scampering through and she was like sitting in between my legs, but she was in protective position, she was like facing outwards, so she was facing like that way, and she was like kind of like stuck to my side, so she doesn't like it, like she doesn't like the noises, but she still goes into like protective mode, which is ridiculous because she's a big like scaredy pants, but it's kind of funny that she still tries to do her job, bless her. Okay, I don't know whether like we've got time. Do you just want to sit and chat for a bit? Like I don't know. I'm quite keen to get started on some arting, but I'm thinking to myself I better pace myself because we've got 3 hours today, possibly more if we're all having a good time and everything's jolly. We'll wait and see. I tell you what I do have though. I've got a wee bit of Jock Cam. He's fast asleep here. He's just having a wee snooze. So once again, if anything gets exciting, I can always amend the camera angles, so to speak. But yes, he is the goodest boy here. But for the time being, you can just put up with my face instead. Fireworks here every night since September. Good grief. That's thankfully something that we don't really have to deal with, which is good. For some reason I thought it was Super Sketchy Saturday, which led me thinking of black and white striped pencils and burglar masks. I do believe we went with Scribbly Saturday, or did we go with Sketchy Saturday? No, I think we went with Scribbly Saturday. Lots of scribbling. That's all good. So there will be no stream. Is this another one that's going to pop up somewhere like the ostriches and the cha-cha dresses? Is that where we're going with this? Yeah, there'll be no stream next week. I'm totally confused and mixed up with my days and everything. I'm like, I don't even know where I am anymore. I'm pretty sure next week there's no stream. I'm pretty sure that's what I said. Yeah, there'll be no stream next week, and then the following week there'll be the Halloween stream on the Friday night. The reason for that is I am departing on my trip on the Saturday, so the day after the stream, and I just need a week or so to like get some videos edited and filmed, so you guys have got stuff to watch while I'm away, and also like pack suitcases and, you know, do all the bits that you need when you go away. I'm just like, I'm wall to wall. Like I was absolutely stressed to the max from the minute I got out of bed this morning until about 15 minutes ago. And it's pretty much been like that all week, and I just don't know how much more like my body can take, to be honest. So I was like, I need to give myself a window where I can just like get myself sorted out. So that's kind of my plan. We will miss a Wednesday, but you know, that's probably a good idea. And then hopefully once I've been away, I come back, I'll be nice and refreshed, have a bit of sunshine, and have a bit of a recharge of the batteries. Hopefully I'll sleep while I'm on holiday as well. That'd be really nice. And we can pick up what we're going to do. We'll get together a November schedule when I come back. And well, then after that, I mean, really that's us. We're on the run up to that time of year that we're not allowed to mention because it's a wee bit early yet, but you'll know what I'm talking about. Cal's hoping that she's right about the giveaway surprise. Huh? Black Rose has to finish her ostrich project. Hey Ulrika, how are you? Are you feeling a bit better? Oh yeah, Easter. Yeah, Easter. That's a good one. Gonna miss Halloween one as gaming that evening playing a werewolf. Yes. Thea's like, starts October the 24th for a very particular reason. Hi Susan, how are you doing? Everyone's so polite when they come in, aren't they? Like, good afternoon. We're like, oh, hello. So good. So good. Oh, I was gonna, do you know what I didn't do? I was gonna change my watch strap for you for just a wee change. I've got this really nice new stretchy watch strap, and I was gonna put it on because I always feel like we're, do you know that I mean? I always feel like we're just, like, the colour cave, and I've always got a black watch strap on. Hello Leslie, how are you? No arting for you. Oh no. I'm a wee bit confused about what's happened to my pins here, right enough. I've just realised I can't put this on because I've got other pins. That's a shame. Maybe for next time. I'll put it on for next time. It's a long... I'll not bore you with the details of that. But it's basically a different fixing to the one that I've got on. The one I've got on is like a quick release one, so it's just two wee chicks that you pull out. But I need a little tool to put the pins in for this one. And they go into like these sections here. I kind of forgot about that. Right, I promise for the Halloween stream I'll put my pretty watch strap on. Oh yeah, okay Thea, I'm with you. Yep. It's actually really comfortable to wear as well, but I wear this black metal one just because it looks a bit smarter than, you know, than the other ones you get for these types of watches. And I only wear a silicone strap when I'm running because I find that if I wear one of those most of the time I start to get really itchy under, you know, like under the band. I don't know whether it's just because it makes me sweat or whatever, it's pretty disgusting. But I tend not to wear the silicone ones unless I'm running. Leslie's husband and her have been watching a train series that went through the Highlands. Oh, that's fun. Yes, we do have some pretty nice. I'm assuming you're talking about the Highlands in Scotland. They're really pretty. The problem is the weather though. When the weather's good, it's fantastic, but the weather's crap most of the time. So you know. Oh, you've got a leather strap, Ulrika. Some of the leather straps are lovely. They're really nice. Yes, Scotland. Okay, just checking. Black Rose wears a metal one. Tinge's colour when she wore jeans was pink. Do you know, I've never had a leather strap for any of my watches. I've been wearing Garmin watches for a long time, but this one and the last one were the first ones where you could change the straps. I think some of you remember my old one had like a rose gold bezel, is that right? Yeah, bezel. And I had a strap to match that, and sometimes I wore a black one as well. But apart from that, I just had the original black strap that came with the watch, and that was the one I used for my running strap or my exercising strap. But I like the silicone ones as well, because when I go for a run, this question gets asked all the time on the Garmin running forum, and I've got like a copy paste answer now. And when I've finished a run, I get in the shower with my watch on, and I rinse it off, and then I take it off and I rinse the inside, and I rub the strap in the back of the actual watch face, and then I give it a little wiggle and I set it out to the side, and then I wash my wrist. And then once I get out, I dry everything off, including the watch strap, make sure it's bone dry, and then I take the silicone one off and put my metal on and just put it back on. And I've never had any problems with it. And I've been wearing these watches a long time now. But it's nice to be able to change the straps out, because the original watches, well, my first one basically looked like one of the little bike computers you get that had a strap on it. That's what the original Garmin running watches look like. That just shows you how old I am. And then they got progressively better. But at one point I had one, and it must have been I want to say mid 2000s. And it was when Apple had started bringing everything out, so white plastic, everything was like really in fashion, and my watch was white, so it was white all the way around and you couldn't change the strap. And I ended up taking that off, and like I still wore a dress watch basically if I was doing other things, and I ended up with like really itchy wrists from that one. So I was really glad when they like when I got my next one, which was my last one, and I could change the strap out. So day to day I generally just wear one of the ones with the metal links, and it's good as well because as I've lost weight I've been able to take links out and not have to buy a new strap. So that's quite nice. Cal had a Fitbit Alta and the bezel was purple, found a brilliant grey fabric strap. Ooh, that sounds nice, I like that. I've got like a khaki green one as well. It's like canvas material almost. It's kind of hard to describe. Again, browns, so you know I can make it matchy, but the black one goes with anything. It's cool. Ulrika needs to put a new hole in her strap because of her weight loss. Yay! Love it when that happens. I've got the unenviable task of going through my I've got a box of holiday clothes, like so clothes that I only wear when I go abroad to hot countries, and I really need to sort through it because there's a lot of really big stuff in there. There's a lot of weird stuff as well, like as in stuff that wouldn't fit me just now, but I really need to sit and go through it and maybe like pare the collection down a little bit. I'm only a wee bit lighter this year than I was this time last year when I went to Malta, so I'm trying to like remember what I was wearing last year, and I'll probably take, you know, similar. But I say worst problems to have. Oh, the ones that are sort of army-esque, yes, Cal, you know what I'm talking about, yeah. I'm sorry I keep like doing this and looking like a chicken, but in between my shoulder blades and my back are really, really stiff. As I explained on Wednesday, I started back running this week, so I was out on Wednesday and I was out yesterday, and it didn't go as well as I hoped it would, and I'm back out again tomorrow. And I'm kind of worried about tomorrow, honestly. But I'm just trying to like keep myself moving. Get this going a wee bit. Right, okay, I think we'll make a wee start, shall we? We got Halloween here, and I did do my homework, you'll be pleased to know. I've also got my little pumpkin dudes here for good measure, feeling pumpkin-y today. Ooh. And we are starting to look pretty good. Hello, Purple! Finally made it live, but I'm in the car heading to a friend's place for the weekend, so no arting here. Well, that's okay. You just listen along and keep yourself jolly. Do you know what? I'm going to move myself out the way. Just because we're on this right-hand side, I'll stick myself up in that corner. It's quite handy to be able to do that, actually. I don't know why I didn't think of that sooner, honestly. Yeah, so you can see I've done my homework here and I've got this stock filled in. I have officially used up my pumpkin orange pencil. It is no more. There's none left. And it's in with the Prismacolor order that should be here. I was hoping it would be here today, but I think it's going to be Monday. But that's fine. That's okay. So what I want to concentrate on today is possibly this bottom part here. Now on Wednesday, for those of you that weren't here on Wednesday, we talked about using different colours and we were looking for some colour suggestions. And that was how we arrived at the slug situation. But people were talking about purples and like sort of deep burgundy reds. So I think I would like to try and incorporate a bit of that into here. What I would like to do though is have a contrast. See these weeny little mushrooms that are kind of at the bottom and kind of poking through in various places. I want them to be a really, really bright colour so that they stand out. So I was thinking that really offensive neon pink colour might be a good idea for those. And then we can use maybe like dark purples and burgundies for these, what I think looks like seaweed, and these mushrooms here. So how do we feel about burgundy weeds and purple mushrooms? How does that sound? Cal says we definitely need some pink, yes. It's really confusing because I'm talking about pink and people are saying hi to purple. we'll do it. We'll get some colours picked out. I tell you what, I said a while ago that I felt bad because I was kind of like abandoning my Prismacolors. Well, we're definitely getting use out of them now, I can tell you that for nothing. It's really handy as well because they're literally the first page in my swatch book as well. So when I was thinking about burgundy colours, if I just pop this down here, I was thinking in my little mind, actually not this page at all, I was thinking pomegranate, and then maybe having mahogany, red and black raspberry as a set of colour combinations. I thought that might be quite good. Ooh. I like it when people use ooh, because that's what I use, Martine. Ooh. I wonder if that's a Scottish thing. Ooh. I don't know. Anywho's. So let me grab. Now I have to say I've got stuff every, the cave is an absolute bomb site. I've too much going on. Christmas commissions and the like. Right, black raspberry. Where are you? It's one of my longer Prismacolors. Oh, black raspberry. Do I want mahogany? I think I want raspberry rather than mahogany red. And what was the other one I said? Pomegranate. Pomegranate. Right, we'll see how we got on with those. I do want these weeds to be quite dark. And it'll just give everything else a chance to pop out a little bit. Possibly a Scottish thing. Right, so if I just grab a wee scrap of paper here, it's looking a bit sorry. So everything's just been kind of like battered about. And so, and there we go, that is our black raspberry. But yeah, black raspberry. I nearly said black cherry there. There we go, and that is our normal raspberry. And then we've got this pomegranate colour as well. I don't know whether I want like a more purplish colour as well. I might pull in the black cherry too, because that's kind of, I always feel that the black raspberry looks quite brownish. I think I'm going to grab the black cherry as well, and I can kind of like jump between them. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's, I'm happy with 4 pencils today. Happy with 4. We can give this a bash and see how we got to roll my sleeves up and get going. Martine likes the colour below raspberry, it would be good for leaves. Oh, in the swatch book. See, now you're going to make me look. This one? Dahlia Purple? Be good for leaves. Yeah, because we've got these leaves, haven't we? Bear that in mind also. Soak it all up like a sponge. Right, okay then. So let me have a wee think about this. Maybe we could pair these up. Maybe we could have the black raspberry and the raspberry together. And we could have the black cherry and the pomegranate, and then if we want to tweak things we can do so at our leisure. Let's try that and see how it goes. We'll get zoomed in a wee bit more, and we'll start on this side here. I'm probably going to have to do a bit of figuring out. I'm going to have to pull out this cobalt turquoise pencil again because I'm pretty sure there's gaps in here that are going to need filled in, and it just so happens to match my jumper today. Cobalt turquoise, there we go. Right, so I've got that at the side there, just in case we need it. So let's start over here, and I'm going to start with this one here, just because. I'll just get a layer of that down. I don't really know how this is going to go or where it's going to go, but that's part of the fun. We're just have a wee adventure. It's really weird having a Prismacolor that long. I'm not used to like flapping them about, you know. Usually they're really, really short. Let's pop a wee layer of that down at the bottom. Oh, I quite like that. Because I'm thinking for the mushrooms more like a blue violet rather than like a reddish purple, if that makes sense. I know that makes sense, but I didn't really make the most of that there. We're in our wee glowy ghosty spot there as well. Oh, I think this is going to be nice. I think I'm going to like it. I think I'm going to like it. Chalk's absolutely conked out now. You ready? If I take it. Oh, getting comfort. Oh, here we go. Oh, it's a good stretches. My timing was great there, wasn't it? This is, he'll flop back over again. He can't hold himself in that position. He's a tired boy today. We didn't have a particularly long WALK this morning either. As I said, there's a shoot on today, so I had to get out and round before. Like basically the gap from when it gets light enough to see to be able to walk around, because obviously we have no street lights. But before the gamekeeper and the beaters and everybody arrived, so it was a bit of a frantic dash this morning, and I had things to do for Mr. Jem, you know, like for the shoot as well as my own things. So that's why I was quite stressed this morning. I'm telling a lie, I was extremely stressed this morning. So yeah, normally at the weekends, I usually go a bit further, especially if Jock isn't too stiff. But it was a very short walk this morning, so I don't know why he's so tired. I think it's just because he's old. Oh, Belly. Hey Maxie, how's it going? So what do we think to these colours? I think that's going to look quite nice. The question is this a leaf or is it a weed? Cal's sister can't say she's taking the dog for a WALK, so we do it in Welsh, yeah. We spell out a lot of things. Pip can now spell biscuit. She knows the spelling, so we've started saying cookie now when we're not talking to her. When Jock's like this, you can use pretty much anything, but if he's awake, you can't WALK. That's. I think I'm just gonna go with. This is a weed, because all the other leaves, I'm just looking around, all the other leaves are attached to like a stem, you know, that like a branch. Like, I don't know why I'm pointing with the paper that you can see through. Oh, it's going to be one of those days where we're only like 15 minutes in. Oh, guys, I'm sorry. I think there might be a few faux pas today, as I say. I'm so tired. so tired. Cal says weed. Veins, thank you. There's the word I was looking for. My friend uses the Makaton sign for biscuit as her dog. Is too clever. What? We're starting all these kind of things, the things that we do. Right, so this is the other pencil combination. I just want to see, because the colours are quite similar. I just want to see what this is going to look like. And I kind of want to make this a bit more interesting. I don't just want like the darkest colour at the bottom and then the lighter colour at the top. I want to kind of mix it up a bit. But see, I've always had a bit of an issue with the black raspberry pencil, and it's one of the reasons why it's so long and I don't use it very much. It's got too much of like a brown tint in it for my liking, and you've got to be very careful the pencils that you use with it so it doesn't look just brown. So we'll see how we go. But it's contrasty enough with the other combination, so I'm quite happy with that, but it's keeping it. Jock, don't scratch, son. I might even, do you know what? Right, I'm going to grab a dark grey. So I'm going to grab French grey 90%. And because I want some of this to be really, really dark. I want to keep it as dark as, because we've got quite a lot of bright colours going on elsewhere. Yeah, I think that's... Yeah. Yep. Okay. Right, my French grey is going to help me out. I'm quite happy with that. So let's do this one. In here. See now that looks suspiciously like it should be cobalt turquoise in there. Because there's nothing else poking up there. So for this one, I'm just going to go heavy with the raspberry. Ooh. And then I'm going to take the, that's the wrong pencil, here we go. I'm going to take the French grey. Pop a wee bit of that in there, look, oh shadowy, lovely jubbly. I think that actually goes better with it than the black raspberry. It doesn't give it the same muddiness, again because there's a lot of sort of brownishness going on with that one. Right, I'm going to commit to the fact that that's cobalt turquoise in there. I'm just going to do it. There we go. And then I'm going to go back to my pomegranate and my black cherry here for this one. I dare say we can use the French grey on that particular combination as well. That's the thing, and it's one of the reasons I know that Daria said in the last stream that one of the things that she really likes is the colours in the Prisma set that you don't get in other sets, and I really, really like the French greys because I think that they're very versatile. You know, I try my hardest not to end up like Prisma bashing because I know a lot of people do really, really like them. I try to be realistic, but I have to say that is one of the things I really do like about them, is the fact that you've got that French grey set and they've got, you know, you've got them in all the different percentages so that you've kind of got one for every occasion, a French grey for every occasion. Righty McHo-ho. They're pretty colours. I think they're done okay. I'm just kind of like stepping back and like, is this going to look okay? It is. So this was a bit where we had used the watercolour ground, so I might have to work a little bit harder here. I'm trying to see where. That is a tiny space, right? I'm not going to torture myself with that. Good grief. That looks fine. Oh, yeah. Right, okay. Oh, jeez. I'm trying not to get these mixed up. Keep my raspberries together, and then everything should be okay, and I can keep my French grey off to the side because I can use it with everything. Okay, let's go with this one. So I think for this one we might go two-tone with this one. Some of these spaces are ridiculous. I wouldn't have this problem if I was using polychromos because I'd still have a really pointy point. Now, unfortunately, the points on these wear down extremely quickly. As previously discussed. That's how I ended up annihilating a pumpkin orange pencil. That was just finishing off the, you know, this part here. I was like, oh no. I also, when I put in that pencil order, it's Emma that owns the colour pencil shop. She's a UK distributor of Prismacolor. She now sells the tins of Prismacolors as well. It used to only be open stock, so if any of you are in the UK and you're looking for Prismacolors, Emma does a fantastic job with those. She also stocks the Caran d'Ache pastel pencils that I did in the Cave Road test video a wee while ago. So I've picked up just a couple of those. I think I've only picked up like 3 or 4 just to try and start building the collection out, because I think what I would really like to do, more for a personal project than necessarily for the cave, but I mean I can show you bits and bobs. I would really like to do a doggy portrait in pastel pencil. In the past I have used them in conjunction with coloured pencil and graphite, but I've never done particularly a dog portrait just with pastel pencil, and I think I would quite like to try that. A dog snoring. I don't know if you can hear him or not. Very gentle snoring for now. Absolutely out cold. Look. He's so content though. He does look really happy right now. Bless him. Oh, we've got Pam as well. Hello Pam, nice to see you. Oh, Patty's one of these people that mixes all her brands up. Julia does that as well. It drives me absolutely bananas. He didn't see the castle arts or the watercolour pencil set. Yeah. I have tried to keep my pencil collection down. I'm trying very hard with that, and periodically I do go through things. I had a bit of a clear out after Mama Jem passed away, and I think that was more for like my mental well-being rather than practicality, but it definitely wasn't a bad thing. And there's not that many of you in just now, but if anyone is looking for or knows someone that might be interested in the Albrecht Dürer watercolour pencils, so that's the Faber-Castell ones that use the same colour codes as Polychromos. I'm going to sell mine. I'm not using them at all. And this I went through like a flurry of activity with them and then just never used them again, and I just haven't used watercolour pencils since, and they're a really good set of pencils, so I'm willing to part with them to the right person for the right price, but I don't want them just going to anyone. Like I would rather they went to someone that, not that I know, but do you know what I mean? Like it's someone that I've had dealings with, if you know that, and I know that they would be appreciated, kind of thing. So if anybody's got any ideas on that or people that they might know, then you can give me a shout. Because they're sitting languishing in the tin, and I don't like it when that happens. I like art supplies to be used if they fulfill their purpose. Oh, that reminds me as well, I've stuck some stuff up in the shop. I've got 2 little bundles of Polychromos pencils that are used. One set's got 19 in and one set's got 18 in. So if anyone's looking for replacements or wanting to try out some Polychromos really cheap, you can head over to the stash shop and have a wee look at them there. And I've popped up a few other goodies as well. I think I might want to take that one all the way down there actually. Let's go all the way down. That's the sun out again. Like, I swear blind the weather forecast goes by our streaming schedule. That I've not seen a jot of sunshine all day. And here we are. Ridiculous. Got an itchy log hole. It's like a half-hearted scratch there. Oh, goodness me, what a boy. I haven't seen Pip for ages as well. I was just thinking about that. I haven't seen the other dog for a while. Oh. These colours blend really nicely together. This the pomegranate and the black cherry. That's a combination I would use again. Look at them. They're just nice colours together. Very complementary of each other. Ooh. Hey TJ, welcome. Can we have some pink Udder Hands for TJ, please? That's our way of welcoming people, TJ. I am Scottish. I live on the east side of Scotland. I'm not far from Edinburgh, but I am originally from the west coast. Yes, there you go. There's your warm welcome. This is kind of what we do here. Lovely to have you. Welcome, welcome. We always like a new person, don't we, everyone? Okay, this is where it gets interesting because I'm not entirely sure what's going on down here. This is what, as a Scottish person, I would call a fankle. It is just a fankle of weeds and stalks and stuff. So let's try and trace this down. Does this one belong to this? Probably. Let's go with that. That's maybe a sensible-ish suggestion, because we've got this great big one here, and I would imagine that yeah, okay, right. I'll go with that theory. That's sensible. I'll just stick with that. And I'm going to get a wee bit of French grey on the go in there as well, right down at the bottom. Oh yeah. Because I'm thinking like these ones here, that neon pink's going to stand out really, really well. Look at the state of that dog. Woo. Yeah, if someone wants to explain to TJ as well about the jock cam. Oh, we're on the move. We're on the move. He's stretching it out, bless him. Oh yes, here we go. You good boy. Doing the rounds. We're doing the rounds. And then that little tip there's in the ghosty glow, so that's good. So I think I'm going to use the same combination here. I don't want them to be like rigidly alternating because it will look quite uniform. But we can still mix things up a bit. Even just with 3 pencils. 3 is the magic number, as I'm sure some of you are perfectly aware. But let's get some shadow in there. Yeah. Maybe even bring that up, that centre stalk part also. Yeah, into the next spot. Yep. UK here too, and thanks to Netflix, my town isn't so unknown anymore. Would that have something to do with a certain football club, Cal? Okay, so let's assume that this part here, belongs to that one there. God, this is getting complicated. But that right now, see, that this is interesting because in that space there, I'm not sure if you can see that there is a line there, which would indicate that that stopped there, which doesn't make sense for down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sharpen my pencil first of all before I do anything. As per usual, I've got my wee Tagal, and with the Prismacolors I always use it on a number 3 setting. So slap bang in the middle. Cal says yeah. I'm sorry, Cal. The jock's settled down again. Yeah, number 3 setting works the best. It's just a nice balance between the length of the point and trying to keep a stable core. So that is what we're going to do. But I'm just going to amalgamate all of that. Amalgamate, there is a fantastic word for a Saturday. And we'll just pretend that's all joined together. And grab this French grey now and pop that in there. And we'll just, it's look pretty settled in again, and pop that in there, a bit of shadow. Yeah. Okay, we're kind of motoring on with this now. I'm going to go back to, I'm just going to, do you know what, I'm just going to have like a sharpening moment and get everything with a nice pointy point on it. We always need to do it with the Prismas anyway. That's pretty pointy. Oh, the sharpening bit. I'm enjoying everyone putting up where they're from. It's quite interesting for me because everyone that has done so far, I already know that. Like, I feel like I know most of you really well. But that's why, like, it's so nice when we do this, because it's just like kind of like hanging out with my pals, you know. I used to get really nervous about live streams, and thankfully I don't anymore because I feel as if we've all gotten to know each other. Hi Patricia, how are you doing? And I remember Patricia from last time because we talked about being the only person from North Dakota. And Martine's big TV watch is Celebrity Traitors at the moment. Do you know, to be fair, like, I don't watch a lot of TV. Mr. Jem and I will pick a series to watch together. But a lot of the time, especially in the evenings, we are very tired and we just basically can't be arsed. We don't tend to watch a lot of TV. I have a lot of things on in the background. See, when I'm working my proper job and I'm dealing with data, which is, it's not a significant chunk of my job, but I have like stretches where I have to do that. And I've usually got junk on in the background, like absolute nonsense. But the type of thing I'm really into just now is Below Deck. It's a Bravo series, and it's basically a reality show where they follow the crew on like luxury motor yachts. I've learned a lot about yachting, but it's on in the background. You know, I'm not really paying attention to it, but yeah, I'm right into that just now. But it's just utter nonsense. And the series that Mr. Jem and I are watching just now is Blacklist, and I think that's on Amazon Prime. It's very, very good, but we like crime dramas and, you know, actiony stuff. That's kind of like our thing, so that's what we're into just now. I'm not really into, because another big one in the UK is like Love Island, and I just would not sit and watch that. You wouldn't catch me watching that. I find most of the people in these kinds of things insufferable. I think it's probably an age thing as well. I don't know many people my age that would watch Love Island, to be fair. It tends to be the younger ones that watch that. There we go. Grab this other combination. Yeah, Ryan Reynolds everywhere. Now, to be fair, like, Ryan Reynolds is lovely, but yeah. Susan, Below Deck is so good, yes. Do you watch all of them, Susan, or is it just like the main one you watch? Because if you watch all of them, Captain Jason, hello, am I right? British Bake Off. Winter is rapidly approaching. I'm assuming, Patricia, that you will get some snow in North Dakota. Would that be correct? Or a lot of snow in North Dakota? Patty remembers the first season of The Blacklist. We are on, I think we're on season, I want to say season 3. It's very, very good though. David Spader is an excellent actor. Ding. Susan, I'll take that as a positive, I think, about Captain Jason. Something's pinging, I should really learn to turn my notifications off when I'm streaming. Oh, it's okay, it's just Julia. Or Patricia is watching Game of Thrones. Oh, Cal, that was good, I like that. I like that a lot. Oh dear. You guys. I'm glad you've got me chuckling already. Like, I can feel my stress levels going down, and it's only been half an hour, so this is good. Thanks, I really appreciate it, everyone. I wonder what my heart rate's doing. Yeah, my heart rate's still quite high, but it's not too bad. It was through the roof this morning. even when I wasn't really doing anything. It was slightly concerning. I have noticed that though, see, not just this time, but over the years, see when when I'm unwell, like the week or two after I've recovered, my heart rate stays, like my resting heart rate stays quite high for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then it starts to come down gradually. It's weird. Big hello to Julie. I think she's out and about today. I did get a text message earlier. She found Terry's chocolate orange in Sweden, and she was so excited that she sent me a picture of them. They're extremely expensive though, because she showed me that like where they were in the shop that she was in. The price tag was there, and I was like, holy Moses. It was a very expensive Terry's chocolate orange, but that's something she likes to get. I introduced them to her last Christmas, I think, and she was really into them. So she quite likes Terry's chocolate orange now. That and the Swedes really like McVitie's stuff. They don't have McVitie's there, but they have it in like their import section. So I always make sure I take over, like maybe the limited edition flavours of the like digestives or that kind of thing. They're really, really into that. It's not Terry's, it's mine. Winter in North Dakota varies so much year to year. Yes, there is snow and sometimes a lot of it wind and really bad cold weather. It sounds like Scotland. I would imagine you'll get very extreme cold temperatures compared to us though. Obviously with us being an island, although Scotland does get very cold, it tends to be in the more rural and remote areas that get the worst of the weather. But because we've got a very small surface area, it tends not to be as bad as people that are on the same line of latitude as us, but are on bigger land masses. Did I miss? Someone said hello to Artsy Endo. I didn't see Artsy sneaking in. Where are you? Let me just scroll back up in the chat. Oh, there she is. Hello. Maxie's not a fan of modern TV. Everything is also serious and realistic. Life is serious enough. You don't need that stress from entertainment also. I get that. That seems to not apply to me for some reason. And I'm the same with books as well. Like I like really gritty, like dark books. Martin's asking if I've sent any Tunnocks. Tunnocks is a Scottish company that make biscuity type things. They have Tunnocks tea cakes coming out their ears, Martin. Julia took a whole load back with her in July, and I took more over when I was there, just there. They've got they don't need any more Tunnocks for the time being, because I'll probably ask her just before Christmas, because I normally send like a box of goodies over at Christmas. So if they're running out, I can send some over then. Why is YouTube hiding messages again? We had this problem on Wednesday, didn't we? I'm getting really animated talking about biscuits. I need to keep colouring or else we're going to be here till like next Halloween. Right, okay. This one. Let's follow this and see where it goes. There? Really? Okay. So that would make this part cobalt turquoise. I'm just making sure there's nothing else that sways in that direction that could possibly be. But I think we're good there. Righty McCoho, I'll go with that. That'll be fine. I feel like this is out in the light a bit more, so I might stick to the raspberry colour here, just at the tip, and we'll go for a more traditional fade down to a darker colour on that side. I'm actually quite pleased that these two darker pencils, the longer pencils, are getting some love, because I have to say they're not colours that I use very often. Again, Prismacolors, it's not a brand of pencil that I would use for commissions for portraits or whatever. The light fastness isn't great, but my commissions tend to be either landscapes or animals, so not a lot of use for things like raspberry and black raspberry. Well, maybe black raspberry because it's more brown, but certainly not the other ones. So at least they're seeing some love today. We like that. We like it a lot. Check your chat is set to all messages, not just top. Yeah, every time so I've basically always got two windows open on this screen that's beside the camera. This is where I have OBS open. And that screen over there is like the YouTube stream screen. So the chat appears automatically in the YouTube screen, but I have to pull it up as a separate doc in OBS. So every time I do it, I've got to set the chat from top chat to live chat in both windows. Otherwise it gets really confusing. On Wednesday it was Susan's hello. Yes, so weird. Black Rose can't focus on the stream today, so easily distracted. Me too. I'm too busy talking about biscuits and Tunnock's tea cakes. Goodness me. I'm actually, do you know what, chat, I could do with your help today? You guys are always great for the food chat, and normally after a stream, we tend to have something really simple for dinner so that I don't have to stand and cook for like 2 hours, once I'm finished. But Mr. Jem has been gifted a pie from the butcher's for his dinner this evening, and I am not partaking in pie. For a couple of reasons. Number one, I have put on weight since Sweden and being unwell, and I'm trying actively to lose that before, as much of it as I can before I go to Sweden. So I don't want a lot of pastry before I go to Sweden, before I go to Cyprus from being in Sweden. I don't want pastry, and I don't really know what's in it apart from haggis. It's very Scottish. There's a haggis and chicken, I think it is. So I'm going to have something else, and I don't know what to have. I want something fairly healthy. And I've got loads of stuff, but do you know that nothing's exciting me? I'm not motivated. So if anybody would like to suggest something for dinner, maybe I can use it as a starting point to get myself motivated, or at least excited about eating something later on once we're finished. So you can all have a little think about that. We'll save that chat for the first break, and when I come back I can look at all your lovely replies, because y'all are great at talking about food. I was just checking on Jock there. I can't hear any noises. I am at the stage, see when he's really quiet and he's not moving, sounds terrible, I'm at the stage where I check to make sure he's still breathing. He is old. He has got a dicky ticker. He's got quite a few things wrong with him, so you just never know. If something like that was to happen, I feel like that would be not a terrible way for him to go. Vegetable stew, omelette, a garden salad or Greek salad for dinner, maybe with some chicken. Nah, I'm definitely not having salad. Number one, it's really cold. And two, I ate a lot of salad yesterday. Something with garlic or onion to fight off the bad stuff and chase those sniffles away. Yeah, right, okay, that's a good starting point, Martin. I like it. I do like a good bit of garlic. I like a lot of garlic. And quite frankly, I wish these snuffles would just do one and leave me alone. I'm absolutely sick of it. Now that I've coloured this bit, I realise that this is probably the stock of the mushroom, and I don't have any pumpkin orange. I think this is orange with, I think it might have been sandbar brown on top of it. No, sienna brown. I've still got the sienna brown pencil out, so I would grab the orange. Let's try to get comfy again. Orange. Mineral orange. Where's my normal orange? Oh, it's there. Can't see it for looking at it. I did actually, I was going to explain this earlier, I did keep this lighter. I went to the Spanish orange up here just because we had this wee ghosty bit. I thought I might have like a bit of like a, glow backwards a little bit compared to the other ones. So I did that intentionally, but that might actually help me out here. We'll see how this goes. Yeah. I don't know why he bothers going into that bed, because he never seems to be able to get comfortable and like settle for any length of time. There is on the bottom of that bed, we've got an outdoor yoga mat cut to size, so that's in the bottom, so he has got padding underneath the blanket. Everyone's watching you, Jock. It's like, don't mind me, I'll go back to making a den. And Black Rose says, I didn't know you already had that. No, of course you didn't. No, I'm not. I don't really like see just a salad. I'm not really a thing that I'm into, honestly. I tend to eat salads at lunch times during the summer months or the warmer months. But I'll take salad as like a side with. Oh, there we go. With like a main. But we're getting to that time of year where I'm like, nah, I need to start eating something a bit more stodgy. Martine's now suggesting pasta with garlic. Ew. Well, I didn't say no carbs, to be fair. Traditionally, half an onion on the sole of each foot is said to kill off colds and viruses. Yeah, no, I'm good, thanks. Yeah. What I can vouch for, though, is that see if you have a cough, and this is something that runners do a lot if they're training for a race. If you put either Albus oil or Vicks on the soles of your feet before you go to bed and put some socks on, it stops you coughing during the night, and that works. I've done it more than a handful of times when I've been training for races. That absolutely works, which is fabulous. You know, that way if you've got a really bad cough and it just keeps you up during the night. It doesn't negate it completely, but it absolutely helps. I'm not sure about the onion on the soles of my feet, though. Do I want onion feet? I suppose there's worse things your feet could smell like. Cal had an onion in her armpit. Oh, the wasp went up the back of your t-shirt. Okay, that makes sense. Right, okay. I don't think, again, like this is like my brain's just going like, nope. Just do one weed at a time. So that is exactly what we're going to do. My little sparrows are at the feeder outside as well. Again, they tend to come when the blind's down. I think they're a wee bit frightened if they see movement inside. But when the blind is down, when I'm streaming, they come. And they usually come in groups. I've got a really fat one. It's a big fluffy fat sparrow. And it comes on its own, which is probably why it's fat, because it gets to eat uninterrupted. Because normally when they come as a group, they like squabble amongst themselves. It's hilarious. But I can hear someone pecking away out there. It sounds like more than one. They're excellent company. See, when I'm working my proper job, I face the opposite direction. See if I just pop this back up. So when I'm working out, I face this way because obviously I've got a desk here, and the window's there. So the bird feeder's stuck to the window, and especially days when Mr. Jem's working really long hours and I maybe don't see him all day, the little birds that come back and forth are great company. And I've got a wee chaffinch who, if I leave the window open a crack, he kind of like peeks his head in. He won't come in or anything, but he's quite happy to sit, and he sits in the bird feed as if he's like sitting in a bath, and he just sits there and like has a wee snooze. He's very cute. And sometimes he brings his wife as well. His wife's missing a toe. I would imagine it's the equivalent of like your thumb. You know, it's like that back toe, you know, for them to grip things. She's missing that, so she, you know, it's easy to tell that it's her. And he brings her sometimes, and sometimes she comes on her own too, but she doesn't stay as long, whereas Mr. Chaffin, she's quite happy to like hang out and chill for a wee while with me. I just need to sharpen this. I need to keep this point quite pointy so that we can get into all the crevices. Albus oil is great, also useful as a muscle rub for dodgy shoulders, or dodgy hamstrings, calves, all the sore things that I get, absolutely. The other thing we do with it as well, if we're really congested, is to put a couple of drops on a bit of tissue and then slide that inside your pillowcase, so that when you go to bed and you put your head down, you're actually inhaling it. That helps really well, and just to like get you off to sleep if you're really congested. Excellent. I love Albus oil, it's great. Just kind of trying to tidy up all my little edges here while I've got a really sharp point going on. Oh. Oh. Damn these Prismacolors. Right, I'm going to grab a little bit of that French grey again. Yeah, that's either Vicks or Olbasoil, Leslie, both work. We tend not to use Vicks just because Olbasoil is obviously a bit more natural. But as a child, Vicks was everything. Cal says, apologies for the dodgy sketch in Discord, I just couldn't get it out of my head. Oh, good shout, Ulrika, I've never done that before. That makes perfect sense as well. Put a few drops in your moisturiser and rub it on your throat. Yeah. Cal says Germaline. I absolutely cannot stand the smell of Germaline. It brings back like childhood, like images of not. Oh yeah, no, I don't like the smell of Germaline. It's very clinical. Germaline. Goodness me. I've mixed my pencils up again. That one belongs over there. Right, okay. Right, I've sorted out the fankle here now. Everything is very clear as you can see. So we're just gonna keep that going. Ooh. And again, I think I'll go down one. There feels like a ridge in the paper. There is something stuck underneath. That's strange. Like there feels like a bump in the paper there that runs that way. How odd. Right, let's have a wee bit of variation here. And moving on over, we're getting there now. I just want to take a wee quick zoom out and show you this, you know, how it's coming along and how it fits in. So you see what I mean? Like I want to keep this, I feel like this part, looking at it through the camera lens is really helpful for me, and I mentioned this before, it's like looking through someone else's eyes, and I feel like that, like this is too light, so I'm going to take that French grey again, and I'll sacrifice vibrancy for contrast because we've got plenty of other vibrant colour. And even see all this going on in here. It's just... Right, let's make that really dark in there. It's tucked away in the back, so, you know, there's every chance there's very little light getting to it. Yeah, that's better. I have to remember to take my own advice sometimes. I can't be banging on about a sea of midtones all the time when I'm doing it myself. I feel like down here as well now. Yeah, okay, right, a bit happier with that. Right, let us continue. There we go. Olbasoil is great. My kids always ask for it when ill. When Maxie's gran comes to visit, she buys 10 tubes of Germaline. I don't get it in South Africa. Ah, right, okay. It's a ghosty hiding. Cal's lad's a bit sensitive to smell, so he used to put Olbasoil in one of his teddies. That's good. I like that one. Yeah, the Olbasoil does a lot. Yep. It's saved me on a couple of occasions. What have we got here? The other thing that I get all the time, did I not talk about this a couple of weeks ago when I wasn't well? You can't get it in the UK, and that is Uniflu. That's something that comes from the south of Ireland. My in-laws live in the south of Ireland, and my father-in-law is Irish. And when there's two things that we always get when we go over. One is Uniflu, and it's basically like a really strong Lemsip Max flu tablet kind of thing, but you get a vitamin C tablet as well. But whatever it is, I can't remember what all the active ingredients are, but good lord, you know, if you take too much of it, it will sit you on your backside for an hour or two, which when you're sick's not really too much of an issue. But it's really, really good. It works really well. So we always get that. And the other thing is chef sauce. It's brown sauce, but it's not like the brown sauce you get here. It's echelons above the brown sauce that you get in the UK. So we always have a steady supply of that. And interestingly, we're coming on to our last bottle just shortly. So when we get Mr. Jem's clan together at Christmas, his mum and dad will be coming over to Scotland. So they always ask, does anybody want us to bring anything? And it's always Uniflu and chef sauce. So I'll need to put in my order for chef sauce. It's just far superior. Like, the like HP, nah, nothing. Okay, right, what in the devil is going on here? This is a big fat frond. So let's deal with that first. Again, look how pretty that is over the white. Oh, it's like almost like a fuchsia-y colour. So pretty. Aren't you glad that Thea suggested the glowy ghosties? So that's coming in there. That's clearly joined up. Now, I think we'll stop that there and we'll make that the stalk of the big mushroom, perhaps? Cal used to be the same when she went to her sister's in the USA. Always brought home the iced tea bags and some Tylenol. Thea's like, what is brown sauce? Oh, good lord. Does anyone want to try and explain brown sauce to Thea? Technically, it's like a fruity, vinegary ketchup. That sounds terrible. But it's really difficult to explain. Like, it is a very UK thing. It's a very British thing, or well, clearly it's like a UK and Ireland thing. It's really hard to explain. Again, that's something else that I've given to Julia, because Julia's like, what the hell are you talking about? And I'm like, yeah, just taste it, it'll be fine. I don't know if that's quite right or not, but I think it's about as right as it's going to be. Again, I'll just grab this sienna brown and I'll pop a wee coat of that in there. It looks right-ish, doesn't it? Right, so if we carry, excuse me, if we carry on down, that would technically mean that section in there. Oh, that one belongs to that one, look. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, okay, love it when a plan comes together. I'm keep looking at the clock. It's nearly 4 o'clock. I would really like to get the weeds finished at least. I'm going to do the rest of the weeds and I'm going to do these tiny mushrooms at the bottom. That is happening. I don't care how long it takes. We're doing it. Google says, good lord, we're Googling brown sauce. It's made from a blend of ingredients that includes vinegar, I said that, dates, molasses and tomatoes, along with spices like cinnamon, cloves and pepper. Yeah, okay. So the dates give it its sweetness and the fruitiness. Yeah, there's pepper in it too. It's not as sweet as ketchup, it's a bit more savoury. Yes. Also, heavily agree. Thanks, Cal. You're like our oracle for today. If anyone's got any queries, put them to Cal. She'll Google it for us. Thea, I'm going to have to send you some brown sauce for Christmas now. Your mum will be like, what is this? Don't worry about it, mum. Just put it on stuff, it's fine. That's funny. Brown sauce. Yeah, usually most people would put brown sauce on maybe like bacon. Some people put it on their chips. Not everyone though. When I say chips, I mean as in like thick fries, not chips as in crisps, which is really complicated as well. I remember having that conversation with Julia as well, purely for an improvement of our English point of view, and trying to explain the difference between chips, French fries and crisps. We just make it really complicated. in the UK, and yeah. Thea's like, deal, yes. No, I'll send you some, that's cool. I'll send you a bottle or two. It also depends on if you get the Branston Fruity compared with the classic brown sauce. Well, see the Branston Fruity, I don't know if I class that as proper brown sauce. It's like a variant. It's a bit like, you know how they bring out the limited edition Jaffa cakes? Technically, they're still Jaffa cakes because it says Jaffa cakes on the box, but they're not really Jaffa cakes. That's the way I feel about Branston Fruity. I feel as if it's like in a category all by itself. Cal has it with macaroni cheese. It cuts through the cheesiness, yeah, and it gives you a bit of a kick to something that's a very mild dish. That's a really good example as well, Cal. So good. It's brown sauce for wimps. I didn't know such a thing existed, but that's quite a good way to put it. It's brown sauce for wimps. Oh, I'm loving this. This is like food adjacent chat. It's a condiment chat. I tell you what I have found just recently. Oh, this one's turned over. That's cheeky. What I have found just recently that has made me really, really happy. I absolutely love spicy food, and I mean like really spicy food. I can eat spicy food all day long, and I've recently come across the Hellmann's spicy mayonnaise, and it's basically the supercharger sauce from KFC, but not just quite as supercharged. We hardly ever go for fast food. I couldn't tell you the last time that we went for some. It's been months and months and months. Probably when we had the kitchen ripped out, actually. And I found this, and I got up a jar, well, it was a tube, just to see if it was anything like the KFC one, and it's pretty close. And I am like the happiest little camper because I love it, and I will put it on. Again, if I'm going to have a salad, Black Rose, I will put that on it to make it exciting and give it a really good kick. It is pretty spicy, so I am like 100% into that just now. And if there's anything that's even remotely bland, I'm trying out a lot of new recipes just now as well. Again, because I have my new kitchen, I'm actually cooking properly again, which is something like I really didn't do because I didn't have space in the old kitchen and I didn't like it. So I am making a lot more new things, like I'm more adventurous and I like trying things out. So if something goes a wee bit wrong or it's a bit bland, I'm like, yeah, just get the supercharger sauce out and fire a bit on top of it. That'll soon liven things up a wee bit. What are good brands of brown sauce? Everyone's saying HP. Jammy Dodgers are from the UK. Yes, they are, Patty. Well, see, I really like Daddy's brown sauce. Pamela's bringing up Daddy's. I find Daddy's brown sauce quite close to the brown sauce that you would get in a chip shop. It's quite vinegary, but I quite like it like that. Tim Tams are Australian. Yes, they are. Black Rose needs sauce in our salads, too boring otherwise. I did find a really nice, again, I get like some salad, so exciting. It's a bit better if it's got some dressing on it. And you'll all have seen these like 0% fat dressings, and they're awful. But again, I found a really, really nice one. I can't even tell you what's in it, but it's slightly pinkish in colour. It's like a vinaigrette dressing, so it's translucent, but it is really tasty. So that's kind of been my saviour for the past warmer months, but that's probably going to languish away in the door of the fridge now until next year. I do always have salad during the winter when we make pasta. We always have a side salad, but I tend to just put balsamic vinegar from Modena, proper balsamic vinegar on it, and I don't tend to use other dressings because it's usually just the same combination that's always got olives in it. But that I was very pleasantly surprised by that dressing. I was very sceptical about it, but most of you know I've been trying really hard to keep an eye on my weight, not necessarily to lose loads of weight, but definitely to maintain or not put on. And being conscious of things like dressings is a really good way to help you manage that, because that's hidden calories or empty calories, and you don't even realise you're doing it. So that was that I highly recommend. Again, I think it was a Hellman's one. When we take a break, I'm going to go and look in the fridge and let you know, but it is really, really nice. It's so worth it. Cooking, does that mean turning on the stove? Not necessarily, but a lot of the time, yes, Patty. That's the thing though, I love to cook. That's why I qualified as a chef when I was a very, very young, and I do really enjoy cooking, but since we moved into this house, I didn't because of the state of the kitchen. So, and I've got a lovely new kitchen, and it's a lot bigger than my old one now, and I'm very much enjoying being in it. Especially, there's a lot of evenings where I've been in the cave all day between proper job and cave stuff, so I've been in here for like 12 hours. Don't really want to spend any more time in here. Mr. Jem's not in from work, and I've got to cook dinner anyway, so I quite like just going through and farting about in the kitchen and maybe trying something out or making something, or yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy it more when I've got other people to cook for though, rather than just, you know, my wee self. Like tonight, that's why I'm not motivated tonight, because like it's only for me. Mr. Jem's sorted, and I'm like, I could just go without, honestly. But again, I'm going for a long run tomorrow morning, so I need to eat well tonight. I need to fuel up tonight. If I have something very light tonight, then I'll be stuffed by the time I get to mile 5 tomorrow, and I don't want that. Cal put so many random flavours in salads, end up not using a dressing. Okay, well that's fair enough. Might be French dressing. No, it's I don't know. I'll check for you, Black Rose, and I might even bring the bottle through and show you. But it's really, really nice. Oh, pea shoots. Cal loves to bake but don't eat cake. Well, that's interesting. When I was a chef, I was a pastry chef, and I don't really have a sweet tooth. I mean, I'll try my batter or my recipes or whatever. But like, take it or leave it. The only thing that I bake often just now is banana bread. I usually have a banana or two that doesn't quite make it, and they get to like a tipping point in ripeness. I'm more on the unripe side of banana eating than the ripe side. So if they get too ripe, I just bang it into a banana loaf. That's a thing. And I bake banana loaves fairly frequently. But Mr. Jem has a horrendous sweet tooth. So I actually try not to bake too often, because if I do make something, it disappears. There's a really good Scottish phrase for you. It disappears like snow off a dike, like snow off a wall, you know, when it starts to. Anyway, and he would just gorge himself on stuff like that. So I actually try not to bake too often, but I'm always up for trying new things. I think I'm going to make that part of this just for ease. I think I'm going to go for it, and we'll just make that nice and dark in there. We'll grab that French grey again. We'll just go for it in there. Look, oh yeah. But we'll do the same on the other side, so it looks as if it belongs, you know, so there's a bit of united colours there. Right, okay, let's take a look at the weeds, for want of a better word for what we've called them. Yeah, that's kind of what I was hoping for. So we've got so many bright colours going on elsewhere. I wanted something a bit more sort of staid for that, and I'm really happy with that. So just before we take a wee break, I'm going to grab this neon pink. Again, a pencil that never gets used. It's full length. Woo! And I'm just going to do all these teeny weeny mushrooms down the bottom. And we'll put a wee bit of contrast in just with a darker pink as well. Thea doesn't really like ripe bananas. Susan enjoys a homemade soup in this weather. Well, I've kind of started going back to soups. I've actually got a turnip sitting out. I make a turnip and bacon soup. So that's a Swede for other people, not as in the country, as in the tuber or root vegetable, whatever you want to. Are Swedes tubers? I think they are. Anyway, I'm away again. I'm off on a tangent. And I've got a recipe there for chicken and orzo soup. Orzo is a staple in our house. For any of you who don't know what it is, it's pasta that's shaped like rice. It's, you know, it's tiny, but it's more of like an oval shape. Mr. Jem calls it the pasta rice. So chicken and orzo soup, really filling, not a lot of calories in it, so I'm going to try that at some point as well. Banana bread, oh yum. Carrot cake, Bakewell tart and a marble cake. Ooh. Cal likes banana flavour but not banana fruit. I'm the opposite. I don't like banana flavoured things, but I'll eat bananas. Bananas are great for running. Lot of energy from not a lot of food. Black Rose would love to make banana bread again, but actually on a specific diet to lose weight, so no cake with my coffee. I've got a pretty good... I mean, it's still, like, calorific, but it's not as calorific as normal banana bread. You could have a little bit. Thea's doctors told her to feed herself what she's craving, so she won't cake 'cause she eats it. Good for you. Well, that's like me not wanting to eat. Like, I'm not really into pies anyway. Mr. Jem is obsessed with pies, and I mean savoury pies. And I'm just not that bothered. But it's one of those things, like, I could have that tonight if I want. I just don't want to, though, because I'm not that excited about it, and it's just not worth the calories and the unknown. You know, like, I don't want to go and, like, bust my backside for a run tomorrow just to burn off the excess calories in the pastry of a pie that I might eat tonight. I'm like, nah, I'll have something else, thanks. And that's what I've really found over the course of the last, like, year and a half. It's not even about being on a diet, it's just stopping and thinking and making choices. Like, if you really, really want something, it doesn't matter how many calories are in it, just have it. But stop and think about it, don't just go and grab it. And if you still want it in, like, 3 hours, then go have it. But for me personally, it's savoury things. So, like, let's take a share bag of Doritos as an example. I would go and open a share bag of Doritos and eat the entire bag and not think anything about it just because I wanted it. And I was sitting doing, I've missed a weed. Just because, like, it was almost like mindless eating. And what I realise is I can still have Doritos whenever I want, but I don't need to sit and eat the whole bag. And I don't have to go and grab it straight away, especially if I'm not particularly hungry. So I just, like, hang back a wee bit. And then, you know, and that's, like, my attitude towards food's really changed. And I used to use food for everything, like emotional reasons, you know, like stress eating, eat when I'm happy, eat when I'm sad, eat to celebrate, eat to commiserate. And that's really changed now. But again, that came from a family background, you know, the sort of Italian way of eating. And a lot of my Italian family are on the rotund side. And plus as well, my mum's a really great cook and she was forever making things and making people eat things. So I've really turned that around. So I mean, I don't feel as if I'm on a diet, and I know that I will lose more weight. But I don't feel as if I'm dieting. I just feel as if I'm like a normal person that's making sensible choices. Black Rose says she'll have cake every now and then, but my diet concept is 3 meals throughout the day and no snacks in between. Worked best for me, so I got to stick to it. Well, that's it. If you find something that works for you, like, that is the way to do it. And I say this all the time, everyone's so different with stuff like that. The thing that I find really interesting now is I eat more high calorie foods than I did when I used to diet. And I think that tells me everything I need to know. And yet I've lost, like, a lot of weight. Oh, what's that in there? I think I'm going to have to make that orange. I don't know what that is in there. Ugh. Right, yeah, we'll just make that dark. Just getting this pink on the go. It's so good though. Cal's diet this month is a broken oven. Oh my. Yeah, well, my diet was helped along for 6 months by not having a kitchen. We actually did remarkably well, all things considered, because I was convinced that in that time period of not having a kitchen, which ended up being about, I want to say 2 months, we got a lot of takeaways and things, and I was fully convinced that, you know, like, well, I'm going to put on weight and there's nothing I can do about it. I actually didn't. I put on like a pound or two, but you know, nothing to worry about. I was really, really surprised at that. But again, I was just very mindful of my portions and the types of things that I was ordering. Most of it for me though is like portion sizes, volume of food, because what was happening was I got to a point where my portion sizes at my meals were creeping up and I was eating the same as Mr. Jem. Mr. Jem is like 6 foot and obviously has a very active job. And here's the little me at 5'3" sitting at my desk all day doing absolutely nothing apart from walking my dogs and then expecting not to put on weight. Yeah, so that had to change. And then obviously running a wee bit helps too. So glad to be back running. Right, I want a dark... In fact, you know what? I think I might just grab this pomegranate colour. No, because then that'll blend in with that. No, I don't want the pomegranate colour. I'll just quickly grab... Look at Jock's asleep, but his eyes are open and his like third eyelid's over. It's so creepy. Like, that absolutely freaks me out. I hate it. Pip does it as well. Oh, it gives me the absolute willies. Let's I think this mulberry colour might be a nice shout. Let's try that. Just for the undersides of these wee caps here. Yeah. And then the ones where we can't see the undersides, I'll maybe just pop a wee bit in at the bottom there. Again, just to keep that theme of keeping things dark. Like, why not? Over this side as well. Oh, that's a good one in there. Okay, happy with that. Thea's kitchen's almost a year old. Oh. It has seen a lot of cakes and stuff already. Yeah. Cal's a clear foot taller. Yeah. Pamela's a little dink. Pamela's in the shorty club with me. I'm just 5 foot and almost that wide. I used to say that about my Nona, my Italian grandmother, that she was as wide as she was tall, but she was like 4'11". I've missed what on the left there? What have I missed? Oh yes, here. Yes. A weed, not wheat, weed. That was a translation there, I get it. Let's go. Thanks, folks. This is what you're great for. I do get a bit of, like, colouring book blindness. I was too busy looking for the little mushrooms, I think, and talking about food. Patty's only 5 foot. Oh, to be tall. Oh, we had this conversation. Was that the last stream or the stream before? I gravitate towards tall people. I think just because I'm short. But yeah, it's not even that I'm short. The thing that annoys me is I've got a longer back than legs, so I've got a really short inside leg. So stride length, Mr. Jem laughs at me all the time. See, we'll go out and walk the dogs together. My legs are almost going twice as fast as his to keep up with him. But trying to get trousers as well, like, thankfully the petite ranges have come on in leaps and bounds in the last 10 years, but I have got a 27-inch inside leg, which is really short, and that's what causes me problems. Oh, that's the wrong pencil. That was the mulberry. Oh, we've got an exotic weed on this side. Oh well, I'm sure we can blend it and it'll be fine. Again, into the glowy bit with the wee ghosty there, and I'll grab that French grey. Also, see when Mr. Jem drives my truck, good lord, I have to get like a taxi back to the pedals because he has the seat like almost as like far away as it will go, and I'm not quite as far forward as it will go, but I'm like one click back from it. So every time he uses my truck I get in and my feet are like straight out in front of me and I'm like, I can't even feel the pedals, they're not there. And I'm like, jeez, I'll get this fixed. Right, okay. I think we're done this time. Thanks for catching that. Hey Mona, how you doing? Just taking a break from dusting and cleaning. Well, I'm honoured that you've come to pop in and see us. Is there not a weed on the other side of that toadstool too? Were you talking about this one? Or were you talking about the other side? Like, have I got everything? Mona, I'm really sorry, I'm just about to take a break. We're a wee bit over. Again, I'm not in any great rush tonight, really, guys. I'm quite happy to go over the 6 o'clock mark a little bit. Looks good now, thank you. Okay, right, I'm going to take a wee break and let's just have a wee zoom out and have a look at this. When we come back, it's looking pretty good, isn't it, guys? Come on now, it's looking good. When we come back, we're going to work on the Udder Hands sticker for a wee while. We'll do that for an hour, maybe slightly less than an hour. And then we will get on to very interesting things in part 3. Thanks, guys. I'm really happy with the colour choices we made, and I'm happy with the fact that, you know, Thea wanted glowy ghosties and that someone mentioned having like burgundy colours. I'm really pleased with all your input as well. Oh, thanks, Mona. I really have to go to the bathroom. Alright, guys, so you now have permission to have the foodie chat, and I'll be back in just a wee jiffy. Okay, guys, so enjoy your chat. Ulrika's got lamb chops for tea. Oh my goodness. I went and had a wee dig about my fridge there. I don't know if Black Roses is here. Hellman's fat-free vinaigrette. 7 calories per tablespoon. But the ingredients in it, I'm sure you can see there's like stuff floating about in there. A fat-free vinaigrette with red pepper and herbs. So it's got red pepper, garlic powder, black pepper, thyme and parsley in it. It's really nice. I'm very rarely impressed by these types of things, but yeah, that gets a vote for me, considering I'm a person that likes really big flavours. I was really surprised. So there you go. I don't know if you can get that in Germany or not, but it's pretty good. Pretty good. I'll pop that there. Jock's having a wee wander about. Right, okay, so let's just pop this back to where we should be. So, from last time, just have a quick recap on the Udder Hands situation. Let me grab my sketchbook here. So, this is part of the the cave sayings sticker collection that we're doing. So we've got Pointy Point, we've got Hillbilly Internet, we've got Udder Hands, this is what we're working on. So that if you remember, we were looking at bubbly letters and things. So what I've done is I have blown up the Udder Hand shape that turned on its side. I know that's quite light because obviously I've done it in pencil. I've done it really big so that we can get the lettering just right. You know, we've got plenty of room to work in. Then obviously for sticker, we'll scale it down to sticker size. But working big and going down the way is the way to go, because it means you're not going to lose out on too many of the details. So that is where we're at with this so far. So I want to get this into some semblance of order and making it look a little bit more like a sticker. The last sticker in the set is the light source sticker, which is already done as well. So currently Pointy Point and Light Source are good, they're done, they're actually printed and they're all ready to go. I've got a wee bit of work to do on the Hillbilly Internet sticker, and we'll get this going. I would really like to have these out in time for Christmas. Again, I said this before, I know it's a really niche audience, but this is like a labour of love rather than wanting to have like a saleable product, if you know what I mean. That's just the way things are. So I need to do some tidying up here. So I got my Tombow mono eraser. So I've kind of like roughly put out some guidelines. I actually eyeballed these distances and they were almost perfect, so I'm quite impressed with myself with that. So I want to take away these guidelines and sort of tidy up the lettering, and then we'll get them inked in and then we can work on some colour. So that's the plan with this. And it's something I would really, really like to get on with. I'm quite excited about this particular sticker as well, and I think some of you are also. So let me just get my wee brush. I'm going to have a tidy out of this desk tidy, the irony, because it is the furthest thing from tidy now. There we go, there's my brush. I'm trouble finding things, and quite a lot of stuff's just been stuffed in there to like literally tidy up and keep it off the desk. And they don't necessarily need to be there. So what am I having for dinner? What would the cave be without the insider jokes? Well, yeah, I suppose so. We've been going long enough now that everybody knows my mannerisms and you know, that kind of thing. So I suppose it is nice to have things like this that we can do, and it's just a bit of fun. But it kind of expands my artiness as well, because it is really easy to get into a rut. I mean, the stuff that I don't show on the cave, you know, if I'm doing commissions or whatever, it is a lot of landscapes and nature things. I very rarely, if ever, do any lettering whatsoever, and it's good to have that sort of variety and expand your horizons a wee bit. Try out some new things. What am I having for dinner? Well, I did, when I was in raking about for that vinaigrette, I remembered that I've got some stir fry veg there. So that's something that's really quick and easy. So I might just have a stir fry. I've got some of the little the little packet sauces. The ones I like to get are the Blue Dragon ones. Again, I've got really spicy ones, so I might do that. Get that on the go, because that's something I can rattle together fairly quickly. So I might do that. But I've also got a garlic and leek chutney. So bear with me on this one. It was handmade. I picked it up at one of the agricultural shows, and the lady that made it said it goes really well if you put it into like a pasta sauce. So I might try that. So I have options. Guys. Got lots of dirty marks on this. I don't know how that happened. So I'm just getting rid of these guidelines first around my lettering. Okay, I need to fix my U. Take away those internal sketch lines that I don't need, so I don't confuse myself. Right, let me grab an F pencil, because I'm pretty sure that's what I was using. What was the juice? Hellman's Fat Free. That's the one I was talking about. It's very good, very nice. Speaking of tea, Cal's dad went on holiday. Took out a great photo of a fountain in Funchal. I'll pop it in the Discord channel. Yeah, I have been to Funchal. I know the one you're talking about. I do not have a picture of it though, so yeah. Martine thinks she needs to join this Discordy thing too. Martine, you're more than welcome. We've had quite a few people join in the last 2 or 3 weeks that haven't used Discord up till now, and I think they will agree. Cal's one of them. She's in the chat just now. That it's fairly easy to navigate. Takes a wee bit of getting used to, but there's a core of us that are there most days talking about whatever we're talking about. You don't think you have that in Germany? You've probably got an equivalent, to be fair, Black Rose. Right, I just want to darken these lines down a wee bit, make them more deliberate. I think I want the bottom line to overlap the top slightly. Again, just to make it a bit more sort of fun. And I decided with the U that I was just going to have it. I wasn't going to put that extra bit in there because it looked a bit too much like a W. Looking to bring that side out a bit as well. I do want them to be quite bulbous. And then that tiny little... That's what makes the letters look fat, is if you make the holes tiny. Yorkshire tea with a wee dash of milk. Yes. And that's the way Yorkshire tea should be, Ulrika. I do think that's a classic. Yeah, that's like common or garden tea for a lot of people in the UK. Yorkshire tea is what we have also. You can't whack it. It's very good indeed. I do want a bit of consistency with the letters, but I also want them to be not that consistent. Again, just trying to get that sort of uddery feel. I feel like that's too sharp of a corner though. Like I feel that needs to be much rounder. Is that better? Yeah, that's a bit better. But we'll match up the holes. Yeah. Cal leans more towards Twining's breakfast tea. Oh, Cal, goodness me. It's just something I can't with. I'm just like, no. I like proper, like, rough builder's tea, though. Like, my tea's really dark. I hardly take any milk in my tea. I like a right good, strong cup of tea, as Mr. Chem would say. See this bottom part here, this bottom line here, I keep thinking it's one of my hairs. I keep trying to like brush off the paper because it's just catching like the corner of my eye. Oh lordy. This bit of the R I want to overlap because it really does look like a teat. I have seen a lot of teats in my life. Pamela says I'm a real technophobe and I manage Discord. Also posted a picture of my pencil fiddling. I'm not on it heaps, but nice to stay connected to this lovely lot. Oh, thanks, Pam. Oh, that's really nice. It's not Twinings. It's not posh. It's kind of hard to explain. It's not posh because it's readily available. It's just posher than the other readily available teas. Used to be, not so much anymore. So, right, okay, Cal's much more concise about these things than I am. Thank you, Cal. Do I want this part of the R more teat shaped as well? I don't know. What I do want to do is keep the consistency in the holes though. I've never been so ridiculously excited about bubbly lettering before. Oh. I think we're good so far. I feel like I want to pull that back a little bit though. Like that line should really be in line with the hole. So let's see what that looks like. Again, I don't have to be too precious here just because I can tweak things digitally. It's not a habit that I like to get into. I don't like to use it as like a fallback kind of thing. But when I'm doing stickers in particular, I usually have to do quite a lot of farting about with them digitally anyway. So it's not so much of a thing. Like I'm not as concerned about it as I would be with a, you know, like a painting or a something. I feel like that wants to be rounder there. Again, lettering, not my forte at all. But I do want to keep that sort of fun, slightly uneven feel because I think it feels more uddery. I can't explain it. Thea is a tea snob. Patty's drinking Yorkshire Gold. Okay. Right, down to the H. I figured out what I was doing with my H as well. I'm quite content with my choice. Because again, there was a great amount of discussion with that when we looked at this last time. So basically I've basically added a circle there and then like rubbed out the sides. I feel like this gap is important. Normally with these types of letters you don't really want gaps, but with the H in particular I felt that it was necessary. Again, I'll try and line that line up with where the hole's going to go. That sounds like Mr. Jem stopping in. I can hear a quad bike stopping outside the house. They must be finished by now. Yeah, 20 to 5. The shoot will be over now. I hope he's had a good day. It's quite stressful for him because he hosts the day. And the people that come for this, they pay a lot of money to come and, you know, because it's recreational. and it's very, very important to the income of the farm. That's him coming in. So he does usually find it quite stressful. If you get really nice clients, though, obviously it's you can have quite a nice day. So I'm sure I'll get the full lowdown later on. No doubt I'll get a blow-by-blow account. I feel like that end's quite big. I'll let it slide for now. Get that up there. And again, let's just line up the... Oh, that's a bit okay. That's too far to the left. I feel like this one needs to come down because I'm looking at these ones compared to that one, so I think this needs to come down a little bit. So what I'll do is I'll pull that line away and bring that down to maybe there. See how that goes. Marginally better. I still feel like it's too high up. I don't want to bring this one too far down though. There. Yeah, let's try that. Yeah, I feel that's better. And then I've got this S, which I'll hide under the nice teat shape I've got there. And then I'll bring this down. The thing with twinings in the UK, at least, is that back in the day, the 1990s, okay, thank you for clarifying, they didn't do an everyday tee. Yep, that's true. That's a very good description of it. Does the S look a bit out of place? I feel like it's squishy enough, but I'm not sure if it fits in with the rest of the letters. I feel like it's almost a bit too defined. That feels better. Earl Grey is one of Thea's favourite teas. It's one of my least favourite teas, do you know that? I like a lot of fruit tea, like when I'm not drinking Builder's tea, like everyday tea. I tend to favour fruit teas. I like teas with ginger in them as well. Okay. I'm going to have to adjust this part of the udder because it's actually touching the S now, but obviously this is quite a loose sort of freeform shape. So let's work on that and then we can get a fine liner out. So maybe take that in a little bit there and then bring it there. And maybe refine that, just cut in a bit there. Again, I'm trying to sort of think about a rough teat shape. Again, which I'm fairly well accustomed to. And teats come in all shapes and sizes, by the way. Right, that's a bit better. I feel like that's quite balanced, and we're going to have the word pink is going to be like at an angle over here, so we'll need to do that before we start inking. Fruit teas are my least favourite. Well, I find it quite interesting because I don't have a sweet tooth. It's strange that, you know, that I would like fruit teas, but I find it quite good, especially when I don't want to consume any more caffeine, but I'm not like at the Jack Daniel's stage. Off topic, yay, just received my new Derwent drawing. Yay! Promotion was less than 150. Yes, we know. Everybody's been buying them. I'm like one of the few people that hasn't. I have other priorities at the moment, and I have more pencils than I know what to do with, guys. I mean, come on. I will get them eventually, obviously. Just not right now. I keep looking at this udder and I'm like, okay. I'm going to go with that though. Right, so if we're thinking about the word pink, I kind of almost want it to be like scratchy, like I want it to be a real the complete opposite of all the squishiness that's going on, so that it stands out. Let me just go back to my sketchbook for 2 seconds. Black Rose hasn't bought them yet either. Well, for Christmas or your birthday yet. Well, I was actually thinking my birthday, which is March, like the beginning of March, might be a good time to get them. As I say, I've still got, I really, really need a new pair of running shoes, and I'm going to have to do that fairly soon. And I would also really like to buy the new Nintendo Switch too. Right, so here we had this. That was kind of like the original design when we were trying to put others in here and decided that was an idea. So I don't know whether to just take like a really vibrant pink colour, again I'm just Prismacolor Scotland Process, not red, and do like a really scratchy, you know, something like that. So it's like the complete opposite of what we've got. Or the other thing that I was thinking was maybe like more like my own handwriting, which is quite cursive, but again would be very different. So if I was to write the word pink in capitals, would look like that. Or if I was to do I'm writing the word pink so many times it doesn't make sense. Pamela can't justify them from either. You're not on your own, Pam, don't worry. Martine, what to do is if you could just send me an email just to my normal email address, so colourcavegem@gmail.com. I'm pretty sure you've emailed me before. If you just drop me an email, I'll send you an invite. And that'll let you get in. So what you have to do is you have to download Discord. You can get it as an app if you're on a mobile device, or you can download it as an app onto your PC. And we will be there to guide you, we will help you. So basically the structure is when you're invited into the cave, you're on the cave Discord, and there are channels down the left hand side. So I talk about them as like classrooms, and each one's got a title. So we have one for general chat, and we have one called It's a Pencil, where we tend to talk about pencils, and then we've got an art room, one where people show their artwork or we discuss art ideas, and then there's one for reference photos, and you can click on those individually, and it's just like a big, like basically like a big thread of chat, and then it works pretty much like a chat room if you're familiar with them from back in the day, or like a forum. It is fairly easy to navigate, but if you need any help, there's lots of us that will be able to help you. And then once you're comfortable with that, if it's something that you find you're using or you want to come on, you know, every day or every other day, you can then go and find other Discords that suit your interests. Like I'm on a lot of Discords for computer games. The Zelda ones are always really helpful when you're looking for things that you can't find. I'm on a Lego Discord as well. So, but the cave's a really good place to start because it's a small Discord. There's not a lot of us on there. I think there's about 25 of us. So it's not overwhelming when you've got new notifications in every channel, you know, things that you haven't read. So I would say, not blowing our own trumpet or anything, but it's a lovely wee Discord we've got, and it's a great place to start if you're not familiar with it. And Thea is basically the oracle of Discord, so if there's any difficult questions, you just ask her. To be fair, I would like to point out that it was Thea's idea, and it was Thea that set it up. I'm just there for the funsies. Dalek thinks the scratchy and squishy letters together look like street art. The Patty, excuse me, a Zelda Discord. Yeah, there's one for Tears of the Kingdom, and there's one for Breath of the Wild. There's like two separate ones. They're big Discords, Patty. They're huge. They have a pin question of the day, and they ask you like a Zelda related, like if you had to do this or this, what would you do, or what's your favourite, whatever. It's really good. I like it. Artsy, still have to send an email to be added to the Discord. Keep forgetting. Artsy, do it right now. Just do it right now. Send me an email right now. Mona's got several Discords, but don't think I'm in yours, Jem. Again, Mona, if you want to send me a wee email, Thea's just popped up my email address. I'll quite happily send you an invite and you can come and join us. Patty, I'm sure I can send you the link to the Zelda one. Like once I come off the stream, I'll send you the one that I'm in. I think it's the Tears of the Kingdom one I'm in, but it's good. It's very helpful. Right, so what's the consensus on these letters, guys? We're talking about Discord. Do we want to go for something? I feel like this is more in keeping with the bubble letters, but I don't know whether I want that or I want a complete contrast. I'm open to your opinions on that, guys, because I'm really like, I don't really have an opinion on it at this point. I'm opinionless. No problem, Patty, I'll do that for you once I'm finished here. I'm like, jaggy letters, because I kind of want them at an angle like here. Susan thinks contrast. Okay. Pam also likes the scratchy letters. Okay. I think what I'll do then is... I think I should just go for it. Like, I don't think I should think about it. Okay. Oh, hi, Daria. You just tiptoe in there to cast your vote. Vote for scratchy letters. Okay. So I need to think about size. I'm going to give myself a very rough... like there. So P would start there. Like that-ish. Okay, let's go for that. Just the colour pink. Well, no, it's more for the phrase, Cal. It's because I don't know. Patty's easy, not cheap. I'll go with whatever is picked. Does anybody else think that we don't need the word pink, just out of curiosity? I would be very interested to hear that, because I hadn't really considered that at this point. I feel it should be there, but failing that, I'd go for a neon sign look. I don't want to. I feel like that would be too much going on, because we're going to have like a cow pattern in the background in pink as well. I love it when people suggest things that, you know, aren't talked about, because that's how we come up with really good stuff. You guys are basically just like a brainstorming forum. It's not actually a live stream, it's just a brainstorming session for the cave. And nobody got any more opinions on that now. I think I kind of like the jaggy letters idea, honestly. I don't know, maybe I had just had my heart set on jaggy letters. Susan says keep the word pink. Oh. Jaggy works for Cal. Okay, I'm just going to take out that guideline completely. And then... there we go. Hi, Snoo. I don't know, you always say pink Udder Hands. Well, that was kind of like, that was where my thought process was coming from with that. But Cal did make a good point. Like, this is basically going to be mostly pink. Like, it's not, it's a valid point, but it hadn't really occurred to me, honestly. Punky pink jaggy letters are a good contrast to the bubble font. Okay, right, so this is one of those ones where you just have to be confident and go for it. As I say, I can tweak it digitally, but... I need to try and make sure I keep this straight though. Oh no, I've got a bit of crumbly pencil that's stuck there. That's not meant to be there. Oh, there we go. Good. Okay, right, excellent. I want to grab some fat fine liners now, so not like fat liners. Hi Angela, nice to see you. What is it, Wally? You just keep like sneaking in and not saying anything. That's between Angela and Snoo, the two of you just like ninja'd your way in. Yeah, Ulrika, fat liners. So let's find the fattest of the fat liners. I might have to do a little shimmy over to my fine liner drawer. Let me see what I've got here in the not desk tidy also. Guys, I am so tired. Like, I'm sitting here and my eyes are like... I've got a 0.9 uni pin. I don't know if that's fat enough or not. Again, is that's not... it might be fat enough for the Udder Hands. I might have to go to a marker for the outline. I do want a nice thick outline. Thanks, Thea. I don't know if I've got fatter than that. What else have I got that's fatter than that? I should have... an 03, well that's not going to help us right now, is it? Right, I'm just going to have a wee dig about in my fine liner drawer. Fat liner drawer. I've got a little... That chisel's too fine, but yeah, just give me a wee second. Yeah. Right, this is the one I had in my mind. I don't know if it's going to be any. Yeah, right, okay. So this is the Pigma Micron 10. I'm going to go with that for now. Oh. Thank you, almighty Oracle Thea. Love it. Right, so I'm just going to try and avoid the pink, like the actual pink for now, and try and be as deliberate as I can. For those of you that have been around for a long time, line work and inking is a particular problem for me just because of my hand. It is not my strong point, but this is the kind of thing that I will touch up digitally. But obviously I still want to try and make it as sensible as possible in the actual original part. Angela was late getting in, been a while, happy to catch a live, just having tea with my aunt. Oh, that's so nice. Well, it's nice to see you, Angela. Again, you're someone that's kind of like popped into my head. On Wednesday it was Sandy. Sandy used to come into the live streams quite regularly. We hadn't seen her for a wee while. And she just popped in all of a sudden, but it turns out she hadn't been very well and she was recovering. So I'm always happy to see people pop back in when they haven't been for a little bit. So welcome. Just turn this around so I don't stick my hand in things. There is something kind of fun about this. Oh, see, that wasn't good. I'm going to have to fix that and Procreate, but never mind. I think we're doing okay so far though. We're doing okay. No disasters yet. There's time. Oh, balls that up as well. Oh, that was my perfect teat as well. Oh no. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. The thing about stickers as well though, and I realise that this is a very personal choice, I much prefer like a slightly more handmade look. I just think it gives them character, and especially now where so many things are AI generated, like I feel like this kind of gives us just a bit of like the cave identity and maybe a wee bit of my own personality in there as well. Susan says the wobble should stay as more personal. Well, I don't know, because if it looks crap, I'm going to take it out. was just looking to see where Jock is. He's in position, we call that position number 3 behind the desk. Position number 1 is his own bed, position number 2 is Pip's bed, and position number 3 is behind the desk at the radiator. I can't put the camera on him because he's shoved himself right in the corner. He's just sitting chilling out though, he's not even sleeping or anything. What wobble? What do you mean what wobble? How did you not see that? Does Thea have to change your title in Discord now to Oracle instead of the very fancy admin? I think that is a splendiferous idea. Yes, Thea, I have spoken. I say yes, you do need to change it. This fine liner or fat liner was a great choice. Oh, that was another slip of the hand there. I don't feel like this is going too badly. I'm definitely gonna have to fix that part, but that's okay. This is just one of those things that I've accepted. I'm never going to improve at. It's a physical impossibility, and I feel, honestly, it's the only time where I feel my hand is a real problem. I know, like, I drop things and things twitch, but generally it doesn't really impact me all that much. But see, if I'm inking things, it's the only time where I feel as if I'm at a disadvantage. But I've learned to kind of accept it, and I generally don't use ink that much anyway. But thankfully, with the joys of modern technology, I'm still able to utilise it as a medium, and I can make it look less crap digitally. Loving that there's more stickers coming. I was going to say, Angela, I think in terms of stickers, you're probably one of the foremost customers. I am planning to, all the mushrooms that I've been drawing, I am planning to have them as a sticker set. And what I want to do is have them as a traditional sticker set, like, you know, the size that I would normally do. But I also want to make like a little set, because I think mushrooms would look really cute as stickers in a journal for like bullet points or something. Like, I think like, so I might do like a station, like an autumn stationery set. That might be something for next autumn. If any of you like that idea or have any suggestions for that, then I am all ears. Okay, I think I might just use the same... No, I kind of want a thicker one though. I'm going to have to go to a marker if I do that, and I don't know if I want to do that. I think I'll just stick with the fat liner, and I am going to do this outline. Let's just go for it. I need to make sure I'm taking the right curves here. This is a big undertaking. Ideally, you don't want to be stopping at any point, but I have to stop. I have no choice in the matter. My grip won't hold long enough to do one continuous line, because I have seen people that turn the paper, you know, and it's just like one continuous line, but I get to a point where I have to let go and just like let my hand like a little line of them for header breaks. So yeah, that kind of thing. You like, so yeah, basically, you know, you can buy like sets of bullet journal stickers, like, and they're all in a theme. I would really like to do something like that, and I think an autumn theme would be the best for me because it's my favourite time of year. Ulrika's not good at maintaining a line, so never do line work. Sames. But it doesn't stop me trying. That's not bad. Is that an acceptable Udder hand shape? Apart from this wee wobble here, I think that's not too bad actually. Leslie's right hand has tremors, which makes drawing a straight line or a circle impossible. I'm finding piano playing more challenging, but I work around it. Yeah, and that's the thing, Leslie. Like, I've never, when I had my injury and I had my surgery, the doctors basically said, you're just going to have to wait and see what happens. You know, nerve damage, it takes a long time for nerves to go back. You might get everything back, you might not. But as you get older, you may start to have issues with the hand, and you'll probably find that you get arthritis a lot earlier in that hand, blah blah blah. So that injury, I want to say that injury happened. I would need to work it back, but like 16 years ago, something like that. And progressively, and I felt it more, I would say, probably in the last 5 years. But even when I do that now, my pinky doesn't straighten out properly. Like, I can straighten the rest of my fingers, but this doesn't go out anymore. And although I've got full motor function, I have no sensation on this finger or this finger, and I've got nothing where my scar is, that tiny little scar. I've got nothing up that side of that finger, and it goes down to just past my knuckles on these two fingers, but I can feel this knuckle really, really well here. So, and that's like, it's getting progressively worse, but it's never held me back. I have some hilarious accidents. I've had a couple of slightly painful accidents, but nothing that's really ever stopped me doing things, and I've always found workarounds. But I'm aware now at over 40, like, it's getting worse, and it probably is going to continue to get worse. But we just do what we can. Inking is not a thing. It's not very fixable, so I'm like, I'm not going to torture myself. Like, there's no point in that. But doing a little bit of this every now and then is fine. Right, I'm going to take this kneaded eraser now, and I'm just going to get rid of all of my graphite lines. That's what I was looking for. As much as I can, so I'm going to clean it up as much as I can. Again, if I miss any, I can take them out digitally, because obviously I have to either scan this in or take a photograph of it to make the stickers. And we do like a good sticker. Well, you guys like a good sticker at the cave, and I fully intend to keep enabling you on that front. Do you know what, I was looking through, obviously I do like a bit of business analysis every now and then, and the best selling stickers are still the Mecha Oggy stickers, so Mecha Doggy, Moggy and Froggy. Still my best selling stickers after all this time, which is really nice, because I absolutely loved them. And again, something that I would never ever have done if it hadn't been for a scroll challenge. Black Rose, I'm actually drawing now too, but how do you draw a flapper dress on a bird? I'm struggling. Angela would definitely get the mushroom set. I have friends that would absolutely love them. Well, I think as well, like, see, when you're going to the effort of making a sticker, it's really easy to, to make it bigger or smaller. It's not a lot of extra work. So it kind of makes sense to make them into like a stationery set or a bullet journaling set, whatever you want to call it. It's not a lot of extra effort, so why not? I'm not sure what use you're going to have for like a tiny pink Udder Hands sticker. Like, you're not going to use that as a bullet point in your bullet journal, but you know what I mean. And it's something I have been thinking about. Because I think as well, I could probably take some of my older sticker designs and, incorporate them into like sets for stuff like that too. Is there going to be a sticker that says a sticker? Un sticker. I like that one too, Cal. Maybe we should just have a French set, because I do have a terrible habit of saying things with a French accent. That's like a Mr. Jem and I thing. Like, that's just what we do. Things are terrible. Seems like only Jem can rename the admin role in Discord. Guess what I'm doing when I'm finished this stream? Yeah, I'll do it for you, Thea. Hi, Jan. On the bus coming to Park and Ride. Catch up later. Yes, you will, Jan. We'll still be here for another hour or so. So if you're home and want to join us, come and say hey. Target is Target. Black Rose would totally get some stickers again soon. Yeah, that's good. Thanks, guys. That's nice. I'm really happy. I really enjoy the process of doing the Aqua Buddy stickers as well. Like, that was amazing. And I am like 100% equally proud of each of those stickers. I love them all individually for very different reasons. And that was a labour of love, and it took a long time, but I'm so pleased with them. I love them. And that's my favourite thing to bring up, especially in my proper job, when people ask me about what I do in the cave. And I'm like, well, normally I would say I'm an artist, but I don't know if you can call combining a chicken with a submarine art. And they go, what? And it's funny. And then I show them the sticker and they're like, oh, that's amazing. It's a really rewarding and enjoyable part of it, and that's one of the reasons why I love, having the YouTube channel and doing all this kind of, like, it makes me really, really happy. And if I sell some stickers because of it, then why not? Right, I'm fairly happy with that. I'm so glad we did this size as well. I'm going to pick a delicate pink colour, and this is going to be like the Frisian cow pattern in the background. Once again, Prismas are right here, so why not? Hi Katara, how you doing? Good morning. Thea says the clock marine is on her sketchbook. Yeah! Do you know how many stickers this set will have? Do you mean the one I'm working on just now, Artsy? I was thinking like blush pink. It's pink enough, but I could, like, Deco Peach is actually pink, but never mind, that's another story. Deco Peach is too pale and Deco Pink's too pale. I think blush pink, because again, see, with the scanning process, I don't want it to disappear completely. It's okay if it's paled out in the scanning process, because I can increase the saturation. Yes, the new one. There'll be 4 stickers in the set, Artsy. There is Pointy Point, there is Light Source, there's Pink Udder Hands, and Hillbilly Internet. I try to have 4 stickers in the set. The only exception to that is the Augie set that I was just talking about. And that was because I couldn't find another animal that would rhyme. Because we had Mecha Moggy, Mecha Doggy, and Mecha Froggy. Take from that what you will. Maybe you need to add another sticker idea. How about So Why Not? Well, this is the thing. I mean, there was so many suggestions when we were coming up with this. And I mean, I think I could probably make like another 3 sticker packs, because there seems to be, I mean, after 7 years, there's going to be things that I talk about that keep coming up, and there's going to be, like the sort of sayings that I use. Because the other one that Mr. Jem pointed out was, he says, you say a lot, I'm not mad about it. Like if I make a mistake or something doesn't turn out the way I want to, and I say, I'm not mad about it. There's that too. Let me just grab blush pink. Okay, so we need to go for this pattern in the background. Now, technically, you wouldn't find patterns on the teats, but for the purposes of aesthetics, we're just going to keep the cow pattern going in the whole udder area. I need a Chatorial sticker. There's so many. I think we might brainstorm that at some point. Once this sticker pack goes out, I might have another wee brainstorming session, because I feel like, honestly, when we're doing illustration stickers, it's a bit different. But see, with things like the cave community packs, because the first one, obviously, we had Stop Mooing, and we like to play with art stuff. Like, I feel it's a bit more personal for you guys, for the regulars, and I very much like that, because that was always the kind of community that I wanted to foster, like way back at the beginning, because my aim was always to have, well, I always said if I had 100 people that came and watched my videos regularly, I would be happy, and obviously that happened. And I feel it's very important to maintain that community, and part of that is having like in jokes and people that are like familiar things. So that's it. I've always kind of had that in the back of my mind anyway. So I mean, I will continue to produce things like this, but I want them to be things that you guys want. The Pink Udder Hands is very specific though to the people that watch the streams. The people that only watch the videos, they've got no idea what this is. But again, I don't know, I kind of like that. So don't you call a cow a coo? Did you know this is something that comes up quite a lot, Leslie? For non-Scottish people, there's Scots is obviously a sister language to English, and it's very unregulated and ununiform. For me personally, and I don't mean that this is going to sound snobby, I don't mean it that way. If you look at all the accents and dialects of Scots, I am quite a well-spoken accent. I would not in daily use the word coo. That's not a particular word that I would use, but I know lots of people that do. I would say cow, but I talk about moos and muchachos, my muchachos specifically. So take from that what you will. But no, coo is not a word that I would use in everyday language. It's just a cow. But I do, when I go outside, I tend to, because they're generally grouped by gender, so when I go outside I will go and say, oh, hi boys, or hi girls, or hello ladies, if it's the cows and not the calves. But yeah, we have good chats and everybody has their own greetings per se. But say again, heel and coo, like I wouldn't say heel and coo, that's very broad, a very broad accent. Not something that I would use personally. Might say a Highland coo, but a cow is a cow. Yeah, I agree with Susan. I would just like to point out for others in the chat that Martine and Susan are both Scottish as well, and we all come from different places. So I don't know if Purple's still here as well, also Scottish. I might say a Highland coo occasionally, but generally I would say, like if I was talking to my husband, I would say let's go and sort the cows out. I wouldn't say let's go and sort the coos out. But again, I think half the problem with me is, no, it's not a problem, but I've moved about a lot. So where I come from originally, where my hometown is, it's considered quite a well-spoken West Coast accent. But I haven't lived there for, that's a good point actually, a long time anyway. And I've moved about in Scotland quite a lot, so although I've still got my original accent, the corners have been kind of knocked off it. And I notice it when I'm talking, especially to Papa Jem now, my accent is different from his. Not drastically so, but it's definitely different. And I live with an Englishman, I live with a Northerner, so I've picked up some of his bits and bobs as well, the same way as he's picked up some Scottish stuff. So, but I've never had a really thick or broad Scots accent, but there's certain words and slang that I do use, and that'll probably never change, but coo's just not one of them. Martine says the UK is strange and the accents and slang can change within 20 miles, and that goes for the whole of the UK, that's just not just limited to Scotland. Leslie loves the Scottish accents. You'll have to study them a bit, Leslie, and later, well, you'll be there for the rest of your life trying to figure them all out. Coo is very commonly used in the northeast of England, especially further north in Northumberland. I dinna ken what the folks in Fife are saying, Ken. Oh, sorry, Fife are saying, Ken. That's something like the East Coast, especially like the further north East Coast, although they've all got different accents, they've got very sing-songy accents, and everything goes up at the end. I'll try that again, Martine, hang on. I dinna ken what the folks in Fife are saying, Ken. Thea's like, I know what you said there, but really, Western Austria bordering Switzerland, no idea what they're babbling about. Yeah, you've got the same problem, Thea. It's the same in Italy as well. See the north and the south? Forget it. In the south of USA, the words get shorter than in the north, but it's the accent. Yeah, that's the thing about the States. There's very distinct accents, but they're so few and far between compared to, like, we have a lot more accents per square inch, and it gets to the point where it's just a bit silly. It's a bit easier with the US, and recently I've gotten a lot better at being able to tell the difference in the US accent. Like a deep south accent, obviously it's they talk about a drawl, and it's very distinctive. But I now know the difference. Like I know what a Boston accent is now, which I never did before, and it just sounds like someone trying to do a really bad New York accent. But I know what that is now, whereas I never did before. Susan's kids grew up in Fife and came home with some wonderful words. I gave up trying to correct them. The very first word that Mr. Jem ever asked me about was muckle. And because he's from the north of England, so he's been in Scotland almost as long as he's been in England now. But he was like, what's muckle? And that made me laugh because it's not a word that I would use, but at the time we'd gone to the East Coast, we weren't on the West Coast, so I had to explain it to him. It was very funny. Katara was discussing hard to understand accents with a Chinese friend, and I showed her the Saturday Night Live sketch where there's a Scottish air traffic controller. The way I say "ku" is almost how we say "ku" in Germany, which means cow. It's the same in Swedish as well. There's a lot of crossovers, and that's one of the reasons I'm really enjoying Swedish. I mean, obviously, Julia brings it up all the time. The Scandinavians came over and raped and pillaged our country at some point in history. So there are words that, and I mean, like the broad Scots words are actually the same in Swedish. They're just spelt differently. And one of the main ones is bra. Bra in Scots is if you're bra, you're good, or if something's bra, it's good. And the word for good in Swedish is bra. It's the same freaking word. So there's quite a lot of that goes on as well. But I have noticed, as someone that did German at school, I mean, my German's very rusty, but I can almost pull things out the depths of my mind sometimes. There's actually quite a few similarities with German as well, to Scots, I mean. And that's something I've noticed, and I love stuff like that. It's really good. Thanks to listening to this channel, totally picked up a bunch of the slang. You're getting the lingo. Pam says Morningside, Edinburgh is quite posh Scots. That's very posh Scots. Morningside. Pam's in Dunfermline but came from a wee village called Kilrenny along the coast. My hubby was born in West Anstruther. Oh. And he's 3 miles down the road in Hughley Broad. Well, Pam, I used to say the very first cave I stayed in Cooper, so I'm quite familiar with that coastline. And the accent change is like, it's palpable, Lindsay. You don't have to go far. The example on the west coast that I give is if you drive from where I'm from originally, which is Troon, if you drive down to Stranraer, which is where the boat comes in from Ireland, they have an accent called Galloway Irish. So basically you can drive for an hour and the accent doesn't change much from my original accent, and then all of a sudden you trip over this 2 mile stretch and everybody sounds as if they're trying to put on a dodgy Irish accent, and it's literally just the way it is. It's fascinating. I love all that. It's not just the accents, but the speed of the speech. Aberdeen are so fast. See, now that's the thing. I stayed in Aberdeen, and when I moved up there, I didn't understand anything at all. It's not even that it's fast. Their words are really clipped. Like, all their words are really short, so that makes it sound as if they're going faster. Whereas I have much more rounded vowel sounds, which like naturally slows your speech pattern down. Patty says the east coast of Canada has some interesting accents, especially Newfoundland. Thea says if you left me with Jem for goodwill, I'm assuredly going to mimic her accent at some point. Cal's brother-in-law says he can't keep up, and sister, when we talk about something intently, we go too fast. Well, I don't know. That's something as well. Like, again, I speak to... Oh, right. I'm going to have to put a pink patch in behind here. This could get dangerous. Let's be adventurous. Let's make it a big one. Ooh. I'll pop it in there. I speak to a lot of Welsh farmers on a daily basis with my proper job. And again, I now know whether I'm talking to someone in the north or the south. The accents are quite different. But I can also tell, because one of their favourite tricks with me is see if I've got bad news to tell them, because I talk to them about disease testing results. If I have to give them bad news, or they know they're getting bad news, they try the whole, I don't really speak English. I can tell the difference between a Welsh person that is a primary Welsh speaker. And I can tell when they're lying that they don't speak English as well. But again, I've been doing this job for like 12 or 13 years, so yeah. They think they're getting one over on me, but I'm on to them, I know. I don't really have an interest in learning Welsh, to be honest, though, because it seems incredibly difficult. I'm having enough problems with Swedish without Welsh as well. But it's interesting that I can tell the difference now, and I geographically I can tell the difference too. Drive safe, Jan. The north-south divide for Welsh is beyond, like it's really obvious to me, Cal, like, and as I say, I know if someone is a Welsh speaker with Welsh as their first language, like, it's really obvious. I have to say though, there is this polarity. I don't know if you're going to agree with me on that. Obviously this is from my lens as a worker, as an employee. My experience speaking to Welsh people as a Scottish person, and more to the point as quite a well-spoken Scottish person, I either find Welsh people to be the friendliest, like, nicest people ever, or the most horrible people ever. And I'm not going to say anything further than that, and I'm hoping that Cal's going to like solidify this for me, but it's very, very distinct for me. There doesn't seem to be much in the middle. When I speak to Welsh people, they're either amazing and they want to chat away, and they'll tell me their like entire life stories, or they literally, like, they might as well just tell me to F off. Very interesting, very interesting. And that's just observations over a decade of speaking to UK farmers all over the place. But I find that very interesting with the Welsh. When I speak to Irish customers, it's just Northern Ireland we deal with because it's UK. The Northern Irish farmers love me because I'm Scottish, and we're practically like brothers and sisters, so everything's cool with them. They're good. Cockney rhyming slang is impossible. I know it's well, I can imagine from your perspective, yes. There you go. Right, Cal's just said what I was hoping she would say, that especially the very south, Cal, that they're not the most agreeable of peoples, shall we say. I tend to find that the people I speak to in the north are very, very friendly, very friendly. The more coastal are more exclusive. Oh, that's interesting. Which is hilarious considering they're Pidgin Welsh. I was talking to an elderly gentleman not that long ago, bless him, and he's actually my favourite customer now. I've dealt with him, regularly over the years, and they had moved farms. So he said to me, we've not changed all our details, like, can you help us do that as well? And I'm like, yeah, no problem. So, but his first language is Welsh, not English, and he was trying to spell the farm name out to me, and he's like, I can't do this in English. He's like, hang on, let me go and get my wife and she'll tell you, because she was an English speaker, like a primary English speaker. So, I mean, this man was like in his like 70s, and he shuffled off, and I could hear him shouting for his wife. And his wife came to the phone and she's like, if you got him to spell it out in English, you'll be here all day. And I was like, oh my God, you're so sweet. Like, they're absolutely amazing. So that really, really made me chuckle. But again, they were just really, really nice people. Very funny though. But every now and then I'm like, maybe I should learn some Welsh. I'm getting like milkshake feelings from this. Maxie said the first time she went to Scotland, her hubby told a local that helped us what directions we are from London, and he just swore at us and walked away. Told us we said from South Africa. Yeah. Pam was in Wales last weekend. Were you there on an excursion, Pam, or were you there for something else? Were you there for work or something? See, I find Wales generally is the geography is very similar to the west coast of Scotland. Obviously, you're on the same part, just further down, and the weather is very similar. You know, it's a lot of sort of wet and mild type weather. Right, quick question for you, chat. Should I put a wee blob of pink in the back here just for consistency's sake? I was thinking maybe have like a little bit peeking out round this sort of area. Wet and hilly, yeah, that's pretty much it. Camping in the showground for a championship show. Katara says yes. Blob away. Okay, Patty says blob away. I'm gonna take that as an excellent instruction. Yeah, I think that's gonna be good. I feel like I just want a little blob here. I don't know who's at that bird feeder, but they're like giving it big licks, like they're going for it. There's a lot of very aggressive pecking going on. Yes to the pink spot, yes, yes, yes. And yes, it is feeling strawberry milkshake. Yeah, a little bit. Kinda like it. Let's have a section here. Oh, I've realised I've missed a line there. Again, not terribly essential, but the less I have to take out digitally, the better for me. Yeah. I have to say though, I find things a lot less stressful and a lot less frustrating with Procreate than I ever have with Photoshop. I would really, really, really like to cancel my Photoshop subscription. The sticking point I have though is a lot of the sticker sets and things that I use for print are Photoshop files, and how the printer interprets and spits out the colours is very accurate with Photoshop, and I find it's miles off with Procreate, you know, if I'm using the iPad. So once I can find a way around that, I'm thinking I'm actually gonna cancel my Adobe subscription, because I just feel like I'm getting ripped off, and every time I use Photoshop, like I've been using it for 7 years and I still hate it, and it still doesn't, like they change things so often and I don't use it often enough to be really familiar. Like I know I like the keyboard shortcuts and stuff, but I hate it with every fibre of my being, and I wish it didn't exist. So I would really like to get away from it, because I'm sick of being frustrated and I'm sick of getting stressed out every time I want to do something that's fairly simple. I feel like you need like 3 years training and a permanently updated manual that you have to keep up with just to use Photoshop, because nothing makes sense. Try Photopia or Photopea, free and close enough. Cal used to use Paint Shop Pro back in the day. For actual digital drawing or digital painting, I love Procreate. I really, really like it, and I'm getting into it more and more. The more I use it, the more I like it. My issue is just transferring what I've got, so that the printer will translate it into something sensible. So open to any and all suggestions, because the other thing as well is I just feel as if Adobe are trying to rip everyone off now. They don't care about their customers anymore. Like, I have had enough. Try not, like, I felt a bit of rage coming on there. I'm like, deep breaths. Procreate is so good. Yeah, I really like it. And the thing for me, this is what it boils down to for me. Now, bearing in mind I'm a gamer, and I have been a gamer since like I started primary school. I've been playing video games since I was really, really small, and the reason that I mention that is what helps to make a really good game is if the controls are intuitive. And for me, Procreate is the the intuitiveness is there, and Photoshop is the polar opposite of intuitive. It's counterintuitive in its entire form. And I have persevered, and I have, you know, I've tried to be patient and all the rest of it, and I'm just like, I'm out of patience now. After 7 years, I'm out of patience. Don't want to do it, don't like it. And I know that it started as a photo editing package, that's what it's for. But they brought out Lightroom and still use the excuse, oh well, Photoshop wasn't meant to be an artist's drawing package or whatever, and that doesn't fly with me anymore, because they bought out Lightroom specifically for that purpose. So and they keep adding all these features like AI, like autofills, and, you know, tweaking stuff. Like, I'm just, go away. Sorry, ran over. It's the counterintuitiveness, the lack of logic in the menus and shortcuts and everything. I'm just like, oh, just go away. Right, I think I'm just going to have one really big blob here, and then I think that's enough. I think that's pretty good. Cal literally got an iPad just to use Procreate. Photoshop is a whole science. Yeah, it's Photoshop is basically like an undergraduate degree all on its own. Well, I have to say, Procreate was not the reason that I saved up and bought an iPad, but because of Procreate, I saved up specifically for an iPad Pro, and the number of regrets that I have about the money I've spent is that many. 0, 0, 0 regrets. And Procreate has been so helpful for me. See, designing Christmas card, because I've got the contract for the Village Christmas card. It's been fabulous. I love it. And that was not my intention. It was just like a kind of Brucey bonus that you know, you could get that for that if you got the iPad Pro with the Apple Pencil. It is annoying. I would say it's more than annoying. It's like it's abrasive. Do you know that way? Do you know that obnoxious, like, distant family member that always makes everyone slightly uncomfortable at family gatherings? That's what Photoshop is in the drawing package world. It's that slightly obnoxious family member that no one really likes, but everyone kind of puts up with because they have to. That's exactly what Photoshop is. So done with it. Cal's used the Apple Pencil and it's actually helped with art and confidence. Well, that's amazing. That is so good. Well, that's it. Well, that's the whole point of digital drawing, and that's the great thing about digital drawing. You can work in layers. It's a very non-destructive way of being creative, and that's something that sometimes you don't have with traditional art. Okay, how do we feel about the milkshake order? I feel like that's quite a good distribution of the pink patches, and we've got some variation. Is everyone happy with the progress so far? Yes? I'm happy with it. My ink work doesn't actually look that way. I think we've got the distraction of like patterns that kind of helps as well. Okay, I was like, pick on her, yeah. Like, wait till, can I turn it slightly? There you go. Okay, that is fabulous. Thanks, guys. I'm really pleased with the progress on this. Like, and I'm quite, again, this is like one of these things I'm quite excited about for the aforementioned reasons. And the fact that it's starting to take shape now as well is awesome. Okay, I'm going to take another wee break here, 20 to 6. We will run on. I'm not going to stop dead at 6 o'clock. There's something very important that I want to ask you and talk about after the next break. So get your little opinionated selves together. Because I've got something quite interesting that I want to discuss with you, and then we're going to do a quick cave community pick for what we want to do for the last part of the stream. Once again, I could really do with a little bathroom break. I'm swithering whether to have a Jack Daniels or not. The reason is that I'm very, very tired, and I know one might knock my socks off, which I'm kind of okay with that, but I'm also running in the morning. I'm on my long run tomorrow. I'm running 5 miles tomorrow. It is all the tea, Cal. 6 I've 2 of these now. So yeah. yeah, I'm running 5 miles tomorrow, so I don't want to, you know, I don't want anything to be detrimental, but like 1 or 2 jacks, even in my current delicate state, two drinks isn't going to knock me on my back, but I don't really want to be squiffy while we're doing art stuff. So I might have to contemplate my life choices. But anyway, once again, please return to your food chat if that's what you want to do. But thank you very much. See, this last hour, this has been so helpful having your input, because at the end of the day, this sticker set is for you guys specifically in the chat. You know, this is a very personal thing. It's a very intimate thing, and I want you to like what I'm doing, and I want you to want it, because that's why I'm putting all the work in. So, yes, on that note, I'll pop that to the side just now, and yeah, you can chat about whatever you're going to chat about, and I think I might need to go and let my canines out for the bathroom also, and I'll be back in the not too distant future. Oh, all right, I'm back. Windswept and interesting. I had to take Jock out to the bathroom there, and he takes ages now, and you've just got to be patient with him. But the wind's really picked up. Oh, welcome back. Oh, yep. I'm trying to sort us out, everyone. Hang on. Yep, it's the hillbilly internet. It's not you guys, it's me. I don't know how many of you caught what I said a minute ago about the weather, about the wind. That seems to be the problem. I think we're okay now though. Let me see. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, so if you missed any of that, it's really windy outside. I just took Jock out for the bathroom, and I had you've got to be so patient with him and just give him the time. And it started like blowing like all of a sudden out of nowhere, but we're back. We should be okay now. I'm hoping I've got all of you. I was just going to try and reconnect the Jock cam, so give me a wee second. It should be, oh no, oh it's gone as well. Right, let me just get us sorted out here, because we can't not have a Jock cam. That would be disastrous. It seems to have picked up again though now. OBS tells me about my connection and if it's dropping frames or whatever, so I'm hoping that YouTube will catch back up again. If you're having problems or it's really laggy, try refreshing your screen in the stream, and that should sort it out. It's a blustery day in Gem Maker Woods, yes. It is rather. Right, let me just get the jockey cam sorted back out. Goodness me, that, I tell you what, that was an experience going out there. I wasn't expecting that at all. Good grief. Right, okay, let's test out the jock cam. Hopefully that should be us back to normal. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we've got a jockey. He's settled back in his bed. He's relieved himself. Everything's good. All is right with the world. Right. Okay. So question number 1. I hope everyone's paying attention and I hope everyone's back now. Because this is where I need your input. So for the next 45 minutes or so, I've got 3 projects here. I've been working on one of these 3D sticker projects. I know that most of you, it's not really your bag. But it's just I've started one, and it's a kitty clothes shop. So if you want to see some of that, you can vote for that. We'll do a wee poll for this. The second thing is to go back to this Posca doodle. This was a bit of packaging that came with something that Ulrika had sent me ages ago. I've not really touched it much. I've done a little bit over here, but not much more than that. Or we can stick with the pencil theme because that's what we tend to do here. And if you remember, we started the I keep turning pages, they're here somewhere. We started the this is what started the ostrich conversation, these mushrooms. So that's your 3 choices for the last part of the stream. As I say, I'll just stick up a wee poll and we can decide between who's in the chat what you want to do. What to do, question mark. So let's go stickers, Posca, add an option, or mushrooms. Start the poll. And we'll just let that do its thing for now. Katara's gotten quite addicted to doing those while meetings. The sticker sticking keeps my hands busy. That was something for me when Mama Jem passed away. I wasn't in any position to be arting at all. Like I just wasn't in the headspace, and it was a really nice way to create something without using too much brain power. For want of a better phrase, that's just the way it was for me. But I still quite like them. So, you know, yeah. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, it's a 46 for the mushrooms, 31 for the stickers. We shall see. Yeah, so again, before the internet cut off, I decided on a Jack Daniels. It's a Saturday. I only, take this how you will, I only really have a Jack Daniels during the Wednesday stream, after the Wednesday stream, because Wednesday is one of my days off. And I just feel like, oh, it's Saturday. It's now Saturday evening. And although I always go for a long run on a Sunday, 1 or 2 drinks doesn't, it has no impact on me in terms of my performance in the morning. But I was kind of swithering just because I'm really tired and I know it'll only take like 1 or 2 and I'll probably be a bit squiffy. But to be fair, I like being a bit squiffy. I don't like being drunk. I don't like the feeling of not being in control, but I like to be that sort of, slightly buzzed way. That makes me happy. So I was like, yeah, why not? Okay, so look, the mushrooms are well in the lead. Right, we'll just end the poll there. I don't want to spend too long on this. We'll continue on with the mushrooms. Thank you very much for your input, chat. I appreciate it. So let's get this back out. I will have to pull up my reference image again, which is on my iPad. Let me just, I've noticed I've got stuff everywhere. I'm not good with clutter. Like I'm a tidy person, and I have to say the cave's stressing me out a little bit. I am taking time tomorrow. I try and have Sundays to myself, like literally as a day off, and it very rarely happens. I do count a long run as having a day off, because it's something that I want to do and I like to do. But anywho, I digress. I am gonna have to tidy this place up because it's ridiculous now. It's absolutely outrageous. Mr. Jock's pretty settled, so we'll just leave him be for now. Right, okay, so if we remember, we were doing these mushrooms, and I have kept some of the pencils. I did write them down somewhere. Yeah, I've got a post-it note up because I was going to do it in graphite, and then I ended up using some colours, so I've got a wee note of that here, and we'll get going on that. So let me just pull out what I need first of all. So I've got a little dinky cream pencil here. and the 70% French grey, which I'm pretty sure were we not using that earlier? Good grief. No, it was the 90% French grey that we're using. So we've got 70% French grey, 90% warm grey, and we also, so that's quite a dark pencil, we also had the Staedtler Mars Lumograph. Now, the question is, where the hell is that? Oh, there it is. The 2B. One of those. And we also had the Artichoke pencil, Prismacolor Artichoke. Which again, goodness me, I'm just a sea of pencils. Yes, there we go, Artichoke. So that's what we're using for the mushrooms, and that's what we're going to continue on with. Pamela misses alcohol. Hi, Jan. You're just in time for a Jack, Jan. I'll take one for the team and have a JD so Jen doesn't have to. Already there. It is, to be fair, it is quite a weak one as well. But yeah, no, I mean, my tolerance is pretty good. I would have to have a substantial amount to not be able to complete a 5-mile run tomorrow. So yeah, we're pretty safe, we're good. Right, I'm going to have to grab my reference image, so I'm going to get this up on my iPad. So it's nice and big. I can see what's what and I can zoom in on stuff. And I've got to go through this mountain of... I've got a lot of photos going on the old iPad just now for various reasons. Lots of pictures of my mum. I'm sure I mentioned this before, but I was putting together if she'd had a funeral, it would have been an order of service. She didn't have a funeral. So we're calling it like a memorial booklet. So I was putting that together. Papa Jem asked if I would do it, and I said yes, obviously. So I was pulling a lot of photos from everywhere. So there's a lot of photos of Mama Jem here, and a lot of them are pictures with Jock, which is lovely. Like, it's so nice. It's funny. She did love a good Jock cuddle, to be fair. Right, okay. Now that I've got that sorted out, so I'm just going to wedge this up, like at the back here, so that I can refer to it easily. Steady. My wee pumpkins are suffering here. They're running out of space. There we go. That's a bit better. I think I'll plonk myself back down in this bottom right corner just because we're using the left hand page. So then my arms and things. What is an order of service? So when you go to a funeral, it's basically a little booklet that you would get, and it tells you who's speaking and what's been said at the service at the church or crematorium, and if there's any hymns being sung, then sometimes the words for the hymns are in there too, or it tells you what page to go to in the hymn book, and there's usually a few little kind of tributey things as well. I'm sure you've got a different name for it, Katara, but you know you'll have something similar. Jan's been buying socks today and you've got Jock socks. Yay! Jock does love a sock. That's still something that he really enjoys. Not as much as rubber ducks now, but he still really likes a sock. Okay, so we're going to just work our way along here. We're going to work on the next mushroom. So I'm going in with the Lumograph pencil. I'm going to make this one bluish colour, because some of them have, they're almost kind of golden at the top. So let me pick something with a bit of a yellow hint to it. Again, I'll just, oh goodness me, wreck the place. Let me just, I'm thinking jasmine. That's what's in my head, because it's still delicate, but it's got a little bit of a yellow tint to it. I know my Prismacolors well. Oh, running out of space. I didn't think it was possible to run out of surface space in here, but clearly it is. Oh, that's eggshell. That's the wrong pencil. What's happened to Jasmine? Where's it gone? Oh, there we go. I found it. Oh, right, okay. So really focusing on this very top part here. Get some of that in. Okay, good. Katara, we just call it a program. Okay, yeah, cool. Well, see, Papa Gem's been calling it a memorial booklet, which I think is quite fitting, really. And it's just to give round to close friends and family in lieu of an actual funeral, which is something that we all thought was a good idea, but now having been through the process of being on the receiving end of it, it's actually really awkward and difficult. It's made us kind of all rethink things a little bit. So, because when people that are even acquaintances of someone that passes away, the first thing they say is, "Oh, I'm really sorry," and then they say, "When's the funeral?" And it's really awkward to try and explain to someone like, she didn't like you enough to have a funeral. Which is kind of fitting really for Mama Gem and also for myself, but as the family members are left behind, it's kind of difficult. I want a sort of brownish colour here, and I'm going to pick up that sienna brown if I can find it, if it's still floating about, because I feel like that would be the right colour. It's here somewhere. Yes, there we go. And I'm just going to tickle this down like one side. Yeah, so that's what I've been working on. So what we did in that was there was a little page about our, basically just a sort of overview of our life. But then we had a page of, these are a few of my favourite things. So we had pictures of, our hobbies and all the rest of it. So she liked books and dogs and horses and, that kind of stuff. And then we had a page of things that she, like handwritten things, recipes and just like silly notes and stuff like that. And then we've got a page of like a photo grid like you would see on Instagram, with all different people and that kind of thing. So it's turned out really well. It's turned out really nice, and I'm really happy with it, and Papa Gem's really happy with it as well. He's not necessarily the most emotional person, and he said when I sent him the final copy that it made him cry. So I took that as a good thing, not a bad thing. He was happy with it, so yes. We still need a video with Jock and a rubber ducky. Yeah. Patty's dad didn't want a funeral we honoured his wishes, right? So you kind of know where I'm coming from, Patty. Like, obviously we honoured Mum's wishes as well, but it's kind of awkward. And I think as well, like, the reasoning for it, because Papa Gem's the same, is when you are the person that's close to the deceased, it's a lot of extra added stress having to sort out the funeral and all these kinds of things. And my mum didn't want that stress for me or Papa Gem. Like, she wanted to be as little trouble as possible. And I kind of understand that, like, I get it. But there's this whole other side to it that you don't realise. And I personally, having lost a lot of people, especially in the last 4 years, like, I am the harbinger of doom. I'm almost too familiar with the grieving process now. So I understand where she was coming from, and in that she didn't want to add on any extra stress. But by the same token, I'm a person that's never found closure or funerals to be helpful. I actually find them more traumatic, because I always feel that they're too soon to provide any sort of like closing of a chapter or moving on. And I've never found them to be any benefit. So that's what I mean. I was in perfect agreement, but having gone through what I've gone through with Mama Gem, I'm kind of on the fence now. So it's a difficult one to navigate, and we wanted to honour her wishes. That's first and foremost, and we've done that the whole way through. But it leaves you just in a bit of an awkward spot. So yeah, there's a lot of sides to it, and there's a lot of nuance to it and a lot of kind of like complications, but here we are. But I think the memorial booklet was a really good idea, because it allows us to give that to the people that knew her well, and maybe that, especially now that some time has elapsed, and it might give them some comfort and give them some closure. And the process of me doing it, I have found it very stressful and very emotional and hard at times. But again, I think it's actually a process that overall has probably been quite a good thing, especially now because we're getting to like the 6 month. Are we at the 6 month mark? May, June, July, August, September, October. No, we're not. We're not quite 6 months yet. But it's been therapeutic in a slightly stressful way. I don't know if that makes any sense or not. But yeah, so just a perspective on something that we haven't dealt with before. So I don't know whether Papa Jem's still going to keep his same wishes. If it, from a purely selfish point of view, and if you follow the sensible way that life should work, it doesn't always work that way. I'm kind of hoping that he might change his mind and say like a private cremation, and maybe like myself and my brother could attend. I don't know, but that's down to him, and whatever he decides, I will honour his wishes. But yeah, a bit of an odd situation. But the booklet's turned out wonderfully. I'm really pleased with it. Funerals are for the living. Well, yeah, that's the kind of the thing, Katara. But for me personally, I don't like them. Martin wants a Viking funeral on Loch Lomond, ideally. It's not legal, but it's funny because in Mama Gem's will, she stated that she wants her ashes made into a firework and she wants shot up into the sky, which I think fits my mum's personality perfectly. So we are going to organise that. We're not ready to do it yet, but we will do it. She doesn't want scattered about, and she said she didn't want to be that creepy person sitting on someone's mantelpiece. So she's not doing that. Like, we're not going to let her do that either. But she is currently in an urn, which I think she would have been incredibly pissed off about. But it's only temporary. Pam's mum didn't want a list of folks at hers, so we did invite only an invite only funeral, and that seemed a happy medium. Well, that's like, even if it was a private cremation, I mean, our family's quite small. So it would, I mean, if my dad passed away, it would literally be any of his surviving siblings, of which now there's only 2, and myself and my brother, and maybe my brother's wife and kids. Like, that would be, there would only be a very small number of people. So I've not broached that with them. It's not the time to be broaching that with them. But I think it's something that we'll need to talk about at some point and see if he's changed his view, because obviously he's gone through this experience the same as I have. So we'll wait and see. But again, one of those conversations that I think should be had and shouldn't be a taboo or heavy subject, because at the end of the day, we're all going to pass away at some point. And it's much better to be prepared and know what's coming than to be blindsided by something awful and then you're scrambling about when you've just lost someone you really love. I don't want to do that to anyone. Cal says Mum didn't want any church bits because she wasn't overly religious, so we just did graveside. But my gran was like that, so that's my mum's mum, and she was adamant that she absolutely not. She was a churchgoer a long time ago, but she found the people in the local congregation to be incredibly pretentious, snotty, and just not very nice people, and she just sort of poo-pooed it after that. So but my gran was in her late 90s when she passed away, so she had everything all sorted out, like down to the absolute like finite detail, and she said she was absolutely nothing religious. So when we had her cremated, which is what she wanted, it was the local crematorium, which is non-denominational, so they did services of all different religions. And when we were there, they had this big massive wooden cross. It was about 10 feet tall, solid wood, and it had been pushed into the corner out the way. Obviously there's not very many places you can store something of that size, but they tucked it away in a corner, at the sort of in the corner of the side of the room. and that was fine. And we had a very nice speaker, so it was it was a humanist service, which was really nice. And the gentleman that spoke was excellent. It was very, very good. But the coffin sitting on this little like sort of pedestal in the middle, it's all very tasteful. It was very lovely. And when they play what you've chosen for your outro music, the curtain comes round very slowly and softly, and you know, that's it, it's all over. So when it came to that point, the curtain started to come round, and it had caught the corner of this massive crucifix, and it pulled it over. And this is in like a crematorium with a really high domed roof, so it sounded as if this thing was like going to crash through the floor and like make a hole in the floor. And everyone just kind of went, oh. And then I looked at my mum, and she burst out laughing, and I started to laugh as well. And my mum said out loud, she said, well, your gran said she didn't want anything religious. And the whole place just like erupted in laughter, and it was really, really funny. And you know, that stuff like that, like, you can't make that up. But it made it like just such a nice occasion, because I say my gran was 98 when she died. Like, we really were there to celebrate her life. It wasn't this, you know, big awful funeral type thing, but it was incredibly funny. Ulrika's mum didn't want to do much for her dad, so it was just immediate family. See, I like that. A few poems, a few songs, but nothing else, and she wanted the same for herself, so we honoured her wishes. Yeah. Thea's uncle left his daughter a huge amount of debt and his partner no place to live. He was such a terrific person. Oh my god. Black Rose is away for dinner. Enjoy. Num 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 num. Yeah, like the whole funeral situation is such a funny thing. Like, it really is. I think as well, though, I've got a little bit of sort of latent trauma from my friend Glenn's funeral. Because he had no plans or anything. He had nothing set out. His circumstance was very different to my gran. And it was just so stressful. There was so many people there, and it was just really, really upsetting for everyone that was involved. And I definitely, I don't think I would want what Mama Jem wanted. Like, I mean, from a selfish perspective, like for myself, but I don't think I would want it at the other extreme of my friend's funeral. I think there's probably a happy medium in there somewhere. So I don't know, but that's something Mr. Jem and I need to do, is we need to update our wills, because up until now my parents have factored into mine, because obviously they were surviving, and now I've only got Papa Jem, so that's something that I need to change. And plus as well, I'm getting old now, like, I've got to do sensible stuff like wills, so it's something I need to be getting on with. But yeah, it's interesting that it's, obviously I just would want to have Mum back, but it's actually brought up a lot of interesting points, and the things that you want to maybe look at and think about for yourself as well. And so unfortunately, when you get over 40, like, you kind of have to start thinking about stuff like that. So we'll deal with it in due course. I can't remember what greens I used in the background. I'm kind of enjoying this little mushroom though. I think it's looking kind of cute. It looks kind of soft and fluffy a wee bit. Maybe a bit more like our ostrich skirts that we've been talking about. Ulrika says, I'd far rather have people spend the money on having a nice drink and toasting good memories, whether it be a beer or mug of tea. Well, it's interesting because that's what Mama Jem said, because we had the conversation directly before her surgery, like, in case something happened. And she said, that's when she told me that she didn't want a funeral. I didn't know about that before that. But I jokingly said to her, well, like, once you've been cremated, can I, like, put you on, like, a pedestal in the middle of the room and we can all, like, dance round you in a circle? And she's like, absolutely, like, go and have a party. I just don't want a funeral. And I was like, oh, okay. So the next step for Papa Jem and I is we wanted to do this booklet first and get that out to people, but we're going to have probably a lunch or a dinner which will be family and immediate close friends, so not a huge group of people, but we feel like it's far enough away now from the event that we will be able to celebrate her a bit more instead of being in like the deepest depths, throes of grief. And you know, we'll get the funny stories and that kind of thing. So that's what we're hoping for, but we haven't sat down and talked about it in a while. But that's on the cards. I don't know whether I'm kind of leaving it to him to decide when he wants that to happen. But that's the kind of next step for us, and then after that is the firework. Which I was like, see when I found out, I was like, oh mum. Like, yes. She's something else. That's where I get my stupid sense of humour from, my mother. Right, I'm going to make this one really delicate. This is going to be like a really pale and interesting mushroom. So I'm going to keep this lumograph to a minimum, but I'm going to keep the lines quite long. At the back it's maybe a bigger mushroom. It's thriving more than this little dude at the front. So bring that up a little bit. And then I'm going to go back in with a little bit of this jasmine. The jasmine, this is another colour in the Prismacolor set that I really like. It is literally halfway between cream and yellow. So if you're looking for something a bit more delicate that's got a tiny bit of warmth in it, perfect pencil. That's what you need in your life. This has also got a bit of a belly button in it as well, so I'm going to use the Sienna Brown. Sienna Brown? Yes. Just to suggest it, not necessarily pencil it in full, but we can do with a little bit of that there. I will go back in with the greens, even if it's just a really soft green, so that we've got that nice contrast there, because I feel like this is going to get a little bit lost against the white of the paper, but that's okay. Dance around on her side. Yeah, like I literally said that to her. She was like, yeah. Snoo told her hubby to put her in a box and take her to the bar pub and get drunk. No real funeral. Alright, Angela, it was lovely to see you and I hope to see you again soon. Take it easy and enjoy your weekend. And thanks for the pink Udder Hands. I'm going to sneak a little bit of that Sienna Brown in there. Just at one spot though. Maybe two spots. Okay, maybe two spots. And then I want to grab the French grey. No, not French grey, the warm grey, sorry. So this is my dark grey colour. And create that nice band like we've got here. Just a bit paler. So get that consistency. It's not even consistency, it's continuity all the way around. It's not consistent because there's some parts that are longer and shorter. But yeah, you get my drift. Right, okay guys, I'm going to ask the very important question. I hope I've got most of your attention by now. Just while I've been doing the Christmas commission stuff that I've got, Christmas cards and one thing and another, the print company that I used to use has gone out of business, which is really annoying. They weren't very truthful with their customers either, which is even more annoying. But I have found a new company, and that's the company that I've just used for Mum's memorial booklet. And they seem to be really good and quite reliable, quite efficient. Prices aren't too bad. The downside is that they want much, much larger quantities for print runs, which when you have a small business like me, that's not ideal. But, so here's the question. They do almost every type of merch imaginable. They do branded deck chairs. Like, it's freaking awesome. So my question to you as the cavers and some of your regulars in here, most of your regulars, how would you feel, and or would you want a limited edition merch run of something as a sort of Christmas special? You know, something like maybe a pin badge or a beanie hat or something like that with something from the cave on it. And again, like, all of this would be discussed with you. This would be a group effort. It wouldn't be me saying, all right, you want hats? Have one with the Colour Cave logo on it. The problem with initiating something like this is, number one, it would have to be pre-orders. You would have to commit to it, because I would need a certain volume to make it affordable but also profitable for me as well, because the smaller quantities makes the item itself very expensive, and obviously I have to make a bit of profit off of it. So I would need some sort of volume in terms of actual orders. But secondly, we would need to decide what it is you would want, and I would have to go with the majority in order to get the volume. So, well, Katara, I've done printed Christmas cards every year for the last 3 years. They are always in the stash shop, so you can have those regardless. Yeah, so Cal's saying mug. Yep, they do mugs. They do sustainable tote bags. They do pin badges. They do woolly hats. There's a whole host of things. Okay, Pam, nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. So yeah, I just want to know whether there's enough interest for it to be worthwhile, because if there is, I will do it. Yep, you can catch up on merch later, of course. I'll post on socials about it as well, Pam, if it's something we're considering. Even if we don't use the mug for drinking, it could be used for pens and brushes. Well, this is the thing, they do plastic tumblers as well. Let me just give you an example. So they do something similar to this. This is a Jameson one, which is it's a whiskey brand. It's an Irish whiskey brand. But they do half pint tumblers like that, but they also do pint tumblers as well. So I thought maybe even something like that. A tumbler with pink Udder Hands, yes. Sketchbooks I probably wouldn't go for, Martine. I can get sketchbooks foil printed with the Cave logo from Sea White. Pencil, I don't know if they do pencil cases. Pin badges are good, says Dalek Widow. You could translate some previous sticker designs. That's true. They do insulated coffee cups. I know they're really trendy just now. They actually do a proper Stanley cup. You know, the ones with the straws. And you can put a design on it, but I think it's only one colour. But there's loads of stuff. That's my point. I just wanted to know whether you think there might be enough interest, because I think the minimum would be 50 units. Cal likes the cup. Susan likes the pin badge. Right, so this is the thing, like, we would have to come to a general consensus, and that's the part that concerns me, because if I don't have enough interest in one product, it means it's either going to be one, really expensive, or two, I'm going to end up having to shell out a load of cash and have unsold items, which the margins are tight in the Cave. Like, that's how I'm able to provide things really cheap. So it's a very fine line for me. You want something that is easy to send out to. Well, this was the thing. I was thinking either something small or something very flat. You know, tote bags are really easy to post out because they're flat and light. But I'm willing to go with the majority. So I just wanted to float that idea and see whether you guys had the enthusiasm for it. See, we would do it as like a Christmas special. So I don't know, what do you think? Do you think it's worthwhile asking the wider audience, not just the chat? Obviously asking on the channel, asking on the socials. Just an idea. We've got enough time at this point to organise something like this. Like, no problem at all. But I figured you guys, because a lot of you guys are regulars and you watch all the videos as well, so I figured this was a good starting point to see if it was worthwhile negotiating. Asking doesn't cost anything, so yes, I'd ask. Well, that's kind of what I do with everything, to be fair, in the cave. Right, okay. Well, I'm glad you guys think so. Right, okay. I just want to give you some examples of the type of things that they offer. We're not getting deck chairs because I don't want to be shipping out deck chairs. But. Right, okay. So they do pin badges, they do tote bags, they do ballpoint pens, beer mats, bookmarks. We're going through the alphabet in case you hadn't noticed. Canvas bags, that's separate from the tote bags. Caps, cardboard cups. They do t-shirts as well. They do actually do clothing. Deck chairs. Door hangers, drawstring bags. What else have we got? Flags. Should we design a cave flag and just have a massive flag to send to people? A cave flag, that's amazing. Might just get one of them for myself. Fridge magnets. They do gazebos as well, in case anyone's looking for a gazebo. Hats and caps, highlighter pens, ice scrapers, lanyards, magnetic signs. That I think that's big, that's like commercial signs. Mugs, mouse mats, notebooks, notepads, paper cups, pens, parasols, placemats. What else do we got? Soap dispensers, sunglasses, t-shirts, tablecloths, umbrellas, USB sticks, water bottles, window stickers, wireless chargers, wrapping paper and wristbands. So that gives you an idea, like the scope is huge. Get your own Colour Cave deck chair now. Get a pin badge for free when ordering too. I think I might just get a cave flag for funsies, because why not? I would be inclined to think the plastic cups might be costly to send out far afield with adequate protection from the mail system. Might be a few breakages. That's one of the things. Excuse me a minute. Oh, that tickled me right from a big toe. They do say, see with the mugs, which are ceramic, and the cups, they come pre-packaged, you know, so they're already protected, so that you can literally just bang a postage label on them and send them back out. That's kind of like part of the deal. My concern is the cost for anyone outside of the UK. The minute you go to a small parcel rather than a large letter, the price jumps up exponentially. A gazebo only for a cave get together. Well, that's not a terrible idea either, Ulrika. An Udder flag. Mouse mats are good. Yes, fridge magnets. Colour Cave wrapping paper. Can you imagine? Thank you. Maxie collects pins from other creators, so that is interesting to me. Oh, do people use mouse mats anymore? I don't know. For a cave get together, we need t-shirts too. Yeah, 100%. Tote bags. Okay, right, I think what I'll do then, I knew this was a good idea to ask you guys. I think what I'll do is we'll ask the wider cave audience what they think. I might just start with a simple poll. If I was to bring out a limited edition item in time for Christmas, you know, merch, would anyone be interested? And if the answer is yes, then I might go into the products and see what would be the most popular. We could maybe just see how that goes. I think that's probably the best idea at this point. Well, thank you very much for your input. It's appreciated. Maxie has different large gaming mouse mats for different seasons, Halloween and Christmas. Oh, that's amazing. It looks like a corgi, but amazing. Let me just take a wee look at the mouse mats actually. I haven't obviously looked at these in any sort of depth. I'm only interested in the greetings cards at this point because that's my commissions that are coming up. That's what I need. Cal's been eyeing up a Star Trek one that looks like the computer panel. Right, okay, let me just pop back in here a wee second for mouse mats. Because they might do them in different sizes, you know, I don't actually know. Branded mouse mats. Mouse mats by type. Oh my god, they do recycled plastic ones? They all seem to be a standard size, so they do rectangular ones, but they've got a round one as well. Oh. Lightweight mouse mats. Let's look at that one just out of interest. Because you might be able to get them in different sizes. Lightweight mouse mats. Oh, these are massive quantities though. Oh my goodness. Oh no, hang on. Show lower quantities. I don't think we need 1,500 of them. The minimum quantity is 500. I don't like. This is what I'm saying. Like, yeah. Okay, right. That's fine. At least I know. This is one of the things that the company that I used to use before, there was no minimum order quantity, but if you ordered really small quantities, that it was very expensive to do it. But with this company, that some of the products, there just isn't the option. Cal's extra and off their TNG t-shirt. We'll get you a cave t-shirt and send it me fine. Right, okay, so I might have to do a bit of research as well, but that's good to know. Thank you so much for your input. I'm just going to call this here. It's 25 to 7 now. I have been sitting here for a long time, bar my couple of little breaks here and there. So yeah, that was a very interesting endeavour, and I feel like we've been really productive today as well. Like, we've done mushrooms, we've got stickers sorted out. I am so happy. If I just pull this back over, I am super happy with the Udder Hands. Like, this is going well. I'm hoping to get this finished in the next few days. There's not a lot of work to do there in terms of the actual physical drawing, so I'll crack on with that. And then I've kind of half started the Hillbilly Internet one as well, but it needs a lot of tweaking too. So yeah, we'll get on with that. You need a colour cave pencil. I've always thought about that. We should have colour cave pencils, but I want them to be really special pencils. I don't want them to be bog standard like HB pencils, because we don't do HB pencils in the cave. Everyone would buy colour cave pencils. Well, okay, well that's something I'll definitely look into. Yeah, no, I've had such a good time today. Like, I really have. Thank you so much again. I say we're going to have a bit of a break from streams now, but I'm trying my hardest to get some videos sorted out, so I'll keep you all posted, but I'll be on the socials as well with this merch stuff as well, and we can take it from there. So I would like you to all very much enjoy the rest of your weekend. For some of you, the weekend's just starting. Some of us were kind of halfway through now. Anyway, I hope it's enjoyable and relaxing for all of you, and thanks again for joining me. I am so tired. Like, I just want to go to bed. Have my stir fry and go to bed. That's what's happening today. I was going to say you can say bye to Jock as well, but he's actually buggered off, so there's no chance of that either. We'll see you all again in the cave really soon. Bye for now, everyone.